Yeah.
All right. Get all those glasses.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to episode 46 of 45 of Two Bearded Guys. Things I should ask before we go
Assuming
live.
I can count, right? Don't put any faith in
I'm
that.
TVG_Ops Guy.
Mudhog B&Q.
With us today,
Smell money.
and behind the camera.
I'll scream Matt.
Welcome back, guys. We're excited because we're going to start off with not beer, actually. I mean, we're going to have
It's
beer.
beer.
We're going to have beer.
beer.
But we're purposely going to, make it bad. Smo brought some off flavors that you sometimes find in beers, and we're going to talk about them, what they taste like, what causes them, yada, yada, yada. We're taking advantage of having one of the smartest guys in the state of Indiana when it comes to beer, or just in general, from what I understand. We're taking advantage of his brain. So we're going to try these flavors and know what they taste like, so we can describe them to you. As you can tell, I'm real thrilled. Monday nights are my night to drink good beer, or at least try to drink good beer, not purposely drink bad beer. But no, I'm actually kind of excited. It's interesting. It'll help us learn a little more and make us not sound as dumb sometimes.
I think what I always liked about what Kevin does when he's training and teaching people off flavors is the training of whatever you taste, whatever it is, whether it's raw egg or sewer or sulfur or whatever, that's actually this, right? It was whatever this chemical or this compound or this bacteria, whatever that is. So it might taste like butter to you, it might taste but that's diacetyl, right? So because everybody's taste buds, as you say, is different. It's all kind of based upon what you're raised on, what you grew up thinking. Oh, that tastes like orange to me. Well, no, that's pineapple to me. Whatever. But that's what I always found interesting, and it was always just learn what this chemical is or what this bacteria is, and whatever you taste with that, just know that that's that bacteria.
Words are hard.
Words are hard.
Before we start on drinking those wonderful flavors, we want to thank our sponsors, as always, Indie Craft Brew, which I have one beer that I got through them. Indie Craft Brew, thank you so much for sponsoring us. Thank you to Turfs Up, who sponsors our Two Bearded Guys Drunken Movie Reviews. Thank you to Ugly Pete's Water, better known as Water Performance Technologies, LLC.
Nailed it.
I'm proud of myself for remembering that. I really am. Every week I go to say it, and I'm like, don't mess it up, don't mess it up, don't mess it up. And then, of course, check out Taver, use the code, get $10, yada, yada, yada. Oh, and Scorched, it's Christmas time. Do not forget to check out Scorched Wood's website or their Instagram. They have some really cool handmade gifts right now. I think I am tomorrow, actually. Yeah. They have some really cool handmade stuff. Plus, they have a 3D printer now, so they're doing really unique things with that. They're still learning on it, though. But they got some cool stuff. Check them out. Do some Christmas shopping. Shop small.
You know where else they could get some Christmas gifts at, Tyler?
I forget someone.
Two Bearded Guys.
Us.
Wow.
They like to get it in time.
Let's do sponsors. We gotta sponsor ourselves.
That's right.
Hey, you buy the beers, so you gotta sponsor yourself.
True.
Yeah.
We don't buy all the beers. Indie Craft Brew buys some of them for us
Some of them
now.
now. Yeah, we got a beer sponsor now. That's
Thank
good.
God.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Saves us a little money.
Rolling off of that fail, we got Brett Pittsford on. So what's up, fellas?
Up here's Brett.
OSM Rules. Russell is on as well. What's going on, guys? So,
Russell.
what's going on? OSM Rules.
Cool.
With
Only
extra
people
S.
that like Matt and Jod are on. Yes.
Stephen King's
Well,
No one
on.
that's
likes
everyone
you.
that watches the
Yeah,
show.
no one likes you.
Yeah. Who else? Sorry.
Stephen King says,
What up, Stephen?
off-flavor stuff is the least most important thing a beer drinker can do.
You think that?
I think, off-flavor stuff is the least fun, most
Oh,
important
you forgot
thing.
the word fun the first
Yeah,
time.
Yeah, okay.
Because it sounded
He's a
like...
Hoppler guy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, a
Oh,
lot of
yeah,
it.
no.
Yeah,
Stephen.
Stephen.
Yes, I've met
Okay,
Stephen.
good to see you.
He
We were
also
just
says,
talking
hey,
about
Kevin,
you."
cheers,
Yeah.
he says. And then Randy Moister says, happy holidays, fellas. Drink more beer. We're getting ready to.
We're about to, but first we're going to drink some beer with some shit flavoring. So what are we starting off with?
Oh, fantastic. So, to kind of clarify what John was trying to say,
Yeah. He says it much better than I do.
So eloquently.
So much better. It's like he's done this before.
yeah.
I haven't.
As a quality guy, right, when I tell people I work in quality control for a brewery, the first comment I always receive is, "Oh man, you need any taste testers?" Stupid joke. Stop it. I have plenty, first of all. And second of all, it's not just people sitting in the back tasting the newest barrel-aged stouts and sours and shocking pilsners. That's for weekends. For actual panel and training, we focus on tasting bad beer. Because to be a good beer taster, you need to know what bad beer tastes like. And for us, it's a lot of off-flavor training. It's a matter of learning what flavors can impact a beer in either a negative or positive way. But generally speaking, an off flavor is any flavor that is not intended to be in the beer itself. So even if you have a, like our cream ale, if you ever taste bananas in it, isoamylactate state, banana is a great flavor. I love banana. Not in a cream ale.
Shouldn't made a cream ale.
So just because it doesn't taste bad doesn't mean it's not an off flavor. So we're going to start with a couple today that are two of the probably most common off flavors, diacetyl and acetaldehyde. You guys ready?
Ready.
Sure.
Yeah, so I'll mix some of this. These beers are fine. I want to clarify this. These are just fine beers.
Actually, they're extremely fresh. We
They're
saw in
very
the
fresh.
can.
Yeah, very fresh.
very fresh. More important here than pass out that way. Is that all right?
That
Whatever
works.
works best
Actually,
for you.
let's do. I spilled everywhere already. Let's do this. Correct these guys.
So, do you guys know what those big, 18-syllable words that he just said was to know what the flavors are going to be already? Or...
No, I don't. He does. I don't.
Okay. Because I was like, oh, it'll be cool. We don't even know what these are. Like, oh, he might have spoiled it for them, not for me, but...
That would have been fun.
Yeah.
Damn it, you should have told me what to expect just to fuck with that.
Yeah, and to go back what John was saying earlier, when we train on flavors, we train on the chemical names. The reason for that is everyone's different. Everyone has different taste buds. They have different backgrounds, different genetics. Let that settle down a minute. That will influence how you perceive different things that taste. And at the end of the day, anything you ever taste or smell is just a chemical. And people don't like hearing that because chemicals are scary, but that's what it is. We call them flavor compounds just to lighten the mood a little bit. But
Just to lighten the mood.
right? Yeah. Make it seem less gross. And whether it's naturally produced by yeast or if it's produced in a lab, it's still the same chemical. So we assign flavors to these chemicals because that's what they remind us of. And I'll give some good examples when we get to acetaldehyde.
Yeah.
The first one we're doing is one called diacetyl, also known as 2,3-butanediol.
On the
Sorry.
streets, yeah. That's
Yep.
the common name.
Oh, man, you got any of that 2,3-butanediol? Yeah. Cup, your cup?
Yep, my cup.
All right. Ooh.
Look at you.
Thank you. Who's next? Yeah. Perfect. Matt, have
Like-
some?
I feel like you kind of did like a martini on this. Like,
Oh, Matt's absolutely having some.
I'm kind of
For myself.
cautiously, yeah. Excited?
I mean, I'm excited to learn. That's one of the That's one of the best
we-
parts about having Smo
There's
on.
one more for you.
Thanks. One of the best parts about having Smo on, just because we get to take advantage of his big brain.
Yeah,
So,
here you go, learn a little more. Here's more in the glass.
I'm gonna learn a lot of it.
Gotta learn today.
So diacetyl is one of the most common off flavors in beer because it's produced in every beer that's ever been made. It is a metabolic byproduct of fermentation. As yeast convert sugar, glucose, into ethanol, there are several pathways that it goes through, or several different kind of stopping points during the pathway that turns into different types of compounds. I'm going to get a little technical here, but as it's going through the process, it produces a chemical known as alpha-acetolactate. Alpha-acetolactate is garbage to the cell, can't do anything to the yeast, so yeast cells will excrete the alpha-acetolactate into the medium, which is beer. Once it hits beer, it's converted into the compound known as diacetyl, where diacetyl itself tastes kind of like butter. The reason we associate that with butter is because this is what they use in artificial butter flavoring for movie theater popcorn.
I thought that's what this one was, but I wasn't sure.
Did anybody else black out till I said butter?
No, I was listening actually.
You can
I
actually buy
somewhat
like
understood.
that yeast, that butter yeast, as flavoring
Yep.
for your popcorn.
So artificial butter tastes, well, because there's diacetyl in it.
Well, I've known breweries that have actually, when their beer has come out with that diacetyl butter flavor, called their beers like popcorn beers and stuff like that, and played it off.
So they might also call it Belgian sometimes.
Sometimes.
Who's running this show here?
Yeah, so it's one of those flavors. It's not necessarily gross, but I don't really
Yes.
want butter in my beer. If you ever see a brewery or ever have a beer with diacetyl in it, all it means is the brewer did not leave the beer on the yeast long enough. So as beer ferments, you might clear it. It might finish fermenting. The sugar's gone. Alcohol is produced. It might be done fermenting, but it doesn't mean it's done conditioning. And part of the conditioning process is clearing up the diacetyl. So I mentioned that precursor, alpha-acetolactate, can't be used by the yeast cell. It excretes it into the medium. It gets converted to diacetyl, where it's reuptaken? I don't know. By the yeast cell.
We promise he does know what he's talking about.
I do know a little bit. I'm not great with English, though. It's my second language, believe it or not.
So that's a fun word. Excrete.
Excrete.
That's fun.
Is it really your second language?
No, kidding, yeah.
It wouldn't have been you. It wouldn't have surprised me.
And I was about to say, what's your first?
Well, normally I wouldn't fall for that, but with him,
Yeah.
it wouldn't surprise me.
So I'm
So.
Spanish. Muy guapo right here. Yeah. Anyway.
Well, What the Spaniards call El Guapo.
Anyway, yeast reuptake that acetal converted into amino acid known as valine, and then no longer tastes like butter. So I see this a lot in new breweries. They have a great opening weekend. The beer is great. Everyone loves it, drinks it all, and then they are out of beer. And they need to rush through the next batch. They have things in fermentation. Hey, it's done fermenting. Let's just keg this off and get it in the tap room. And then, oh, there's a little bit of butter to this. So, yeah, not a great flavor. Not awful, but it
Tends to be a little bit more in the back end for me. What's there?
I've had beers that kind of advertise themselves as popcorn beers and felt a little let down. This one tastes like what a popcorn beer I imagine would be. I'm like, I could buy a 6er of this.
That's wrong, but yeah.
I mean, like if it was meant to taste like this, I was like,
Sure,
oh
yeah,
well,
yeah.
you know, like if I went with the mindset of like, oh hey, this is a popcorn beer and it tastes like buttered popcorn, then I'd be pretty happy with this.
Yeah, for sure.
No.
That's what it tastes like.
Sometimes Belgians do have banana clove sort of flavor profile. What are other beer styles that popcorn flavor maybe or butter maybe okay in?
So the big one is anything that is made in the Czech Republic. Czech style beers are not required, but known to have a little bit of acid to them, and that's okay. A great example is Pilsner Urquell, when the classic first Pilsner pretty much ever made, has a little bit of acid in it because people in that country kind of like that flavor. So to them, it's not an off flavor; it's something that accentuates the beer itself.
Something that better be in there because they like it, damn it.
Exactly, yeah. So a lot of Czech Pilsners, at least or Czech lagers or whatever from Czech Republic, do have a little bit of butter to them, and that's okay. Doesn't need to be it. So if I see American brewery making Czech pills and there's butter in it, that might be a stylistic choice, but it does not need to be there. It's just more acceptable. And some English styles as well. English milds, English brown ales. A little bit of butter is, not encouraged, but it's okay.
Gotcha.
Interesting.
At this level, though, this is kind of high. You don't want it to taste like butter. Use it more as something to accentuate, like a little bit of butter on a piece of fresh sourdough bread. You don't want to cover up the taste of the sourdough. Just some that little extra.
Add to it.
Exactly. That's a kind of sprinkle that needs to be in there. So yeah.
It's
What do
interesting.
you think?
I mean, it is what it is. It's one of those where for me it doesn't ruin the beer. Like I'll drink it, but the whole time I'm drinking it, and obviously I knew you put it in there, but the whole time I've had enough Sun King, Sunlight in my life. I've had enough cream ales in general in my life. That's one of those flavors where you go, well, that's not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Not a big fan. Like you said, I'm not a big fan of butter in my beer. So that's just not okay to me. So, I mean, for me, that's pretty much all it is. It's one of those flavors that I go, okay. You messed up. We're good.
Yeah, no, it's for me. I don't know why words are hard. Like it's always just a little bit more on the back end for me. Like very. It just even with that, it's there obviously, but it's still just a little subtle for me. I don't for whatever reason I struggle a little bit with diacetyl. Did you get the
that
actual?
last little bitty bit that was in there,
Straight butter.
that's all it tasted
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, there's a little beer in there. Oh, shit. Nope, that pretty much wasn't
that
beer.
was-
Got it.
But diacetyl, I think, is one of those that most people who have done a little bit of beer training will be able to pick out diacetyl.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh,
It's a
absolutely.
great. If you're getting into actually beer science and sensory training, this is one of the most common off flavors that people start with because it's very recognizable, it's very common, and it's pretty easy to pick up on. Very,
Not
very
something
low
you're
threshold.
guessing with.
Exactly. Now there are certain beer styles, and I've noticed this, especially some barrel aged beers. The barrel character can kind of lead a butterscotch note to some beers,
Yeah.
especially with Buffalo Trace brands. I've noticed that Buffalo Trace barrels, using a beer that's not a stout, something like a wheat wine or barley wine or doppelbock, some kind of big malty beer, not something necessarily dark. That barrel character comes out kind of butterscotchy, which can be confused with diacetyl, even though it's not diacetyl. So it goes back to what we talked about earlier, that we're training on, this is not butter, this is diacetyl.
It's diacetyl.
And there's a difference to it.
It's interesting.
Yeah, and a key marker of diacetyl also is there's a slight kind of slickness and oiliness on the tongue as you finish.
Like
if you
butter?
exactly like butter.
Exactly like butter.
That's what I keep saying that, but yeah. Anyway.
I mean, butter's definitely
He's
easier
trying to get away from butter over here.
I know,
Yeah.
but for the people like me, butter's much easier to say than
Diacetyl.
that.
Great, yeah, that's it. Yeah. So cool, move on.
Move on.
While you're working on the next one, Russell chimed in and said, the infamous El Guapo, which means even more famous. We might need to check his Spanish.
Clean. These are clean.
My top one's clean. I just swapped them.
Dirty. What's these the dirties?
I like the fancy little glass breakable vials.
Yeah, these are kind of sample things we never use. So I'm like, yeah, I'll put it
So that one's gonna be flavor forward.
So also,
So you get broken glass in your beer. Hey, this is what that tastes like. Yeah. Kidding, it's mostly fine.
I'm
Try to go
getting
first.
shattered glass in this one. Is that supposed to taste like glass?
Yeah, is this always taste like? Is it always crunchy?
foreign objects in beer. Okay.
All right.
That's apparently a big part of quality control there.
Big part. Big part.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like you're not supposed to have that. All of a sudden, you're chewing
Give
on
us the
glass.
full experience.
True or false? Glass is supposed to be in beer.
False.
Nailed it.
Yes, I do know what I'm talking about.
But it's like a square in the rectangle, though. Like, beer's supposed to be in the glass, though, right?
Yes.
I think these four.
Okay,
I see 4 clean ones. Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. Do one.
Don't tell them what this one is supposed to be.
I'm not,
like.
because this is going to talk about flavors. The chemical is acetaldehyde, or acetaldehyde, whatever you want to call it. I don't care.
How is it said?
I say acetaldehyde, but I know a lot of people say acetaldehyde, and I don't care personally. I'll try the rest of this one. Perfect. Okay, so give this a sniff, give it a taste. I want you guys to think about what this smells or tastes like to you.
Give it the patented smaller swirl.
Smaller swirl.
Smells. Ew, that sounds gross. Yeah.
Smaller swirl. We say we say
Every show.
Every show.
We're gonna, with your permission, make it.
That's
Yes.
fine. Yeah, so I get a free one.
All right. Sure.
Yeah.
Works for us.
Sounds like a
We
weird-
don't get free
sounds
shit.
like a
but
weird
sure.
sex thing, doesn't it?
I mean, is it not? It's
It's just my birthday.
there can be two definitions for it. For Kevin's birthday.
Russell's chiming in. If it has a bloody finish, there's too much glass.
Thank you, Russell.
Valid point.
Yeah.
I haven't tasted it yet. I'm sitting here smelling it because there's a smell that my brain's recognizing, but I can't place it, and it's bugging the shit out of me.
Can I
taste it too.
say what my smell and taste are kind of?
Yeah,
go ahead.
So I'm getting like a melony kind of flavor, like kind of like a I don't know, mushmelon or cucumber kind of thing. Maybe
Okay.
a little pumpkin-y on the nose, but not as much on the taste.
Beautiful. Good.
Like if you carved out the pumpkin.
Sure. Fresh pumpkin, not like pumpkin spice.
Yes.
Ha! Which we've established is not a thing.
And where I come from, we call it pumpkin.
No, that's how white pumpkins are made. They suck all the pumpkin spice the white girls do for their drinks out of the pumpkins.
That sounded kind of bad.
Have you seen that meme yet?
No,
Yeah.
I'm not.
Little kid describing to their dad how white pumpkins are made. It's all the basic white girls suck all the pumpkin spice out for their lattes.
Keep your eyes on the Two Bearded Guys Instagram later for that one, folks.
Russell's on it.
Oh, I have it in my phone somewhere.
All right, so Tyler, what you got?
Taste it. Don't finish it. I want to leave a little bit in there after we talk about it.
It's planty, but I'm not getting melon at all. I'm getting, and it's not grassy like IPA grassy. It's just planty, like
Like chlorophyll.
yeah,
Like chewing on a leaf.
yeah. And the nose, I still can't put a word to it, but it's something that's like dinging in my head, like one of those like I've smelled this before, and I can't for the life of me place the smell. But it's I think it might be just that planty that it's not. I kept thinking grass, but I'm like, no, that's not right. It's just that it's planty.
Yeah.
I know that's not really a word, but
Yes, now.
Yeah.
Neither is mouthfeel or viscous. but-
mouthfeel absolutely is a word, and so is viscous.
Just the way I say it isn't right.
That's called
But it is.
copywriting.
That's right.
Branding.
John, what do you get out of it?
A little bit of tartness on the nose. I would say a little bit of like sour green apple.
Okay.
So
All right. So, you're all right. That is one thing I try to panel on is there's no wrong answers. If this, whatever this tastes like to you, that's the acetaldehyde. Why? Because it's in all these things. The most common flavor is green apple. When they say green, they don't mean green as in Granny Smith. They mean green as in unripe. So to me, it's kind of like walking through an apple orchard. The smell of either unripe apples or even a little bit old apple. It's kind of that fresh, earthy vegetable
can see
character.
that, yep.
Pumpkin is what I get out of it. You were exactly right. I mean, fresh cut pumpkin. Black olives is also common. Acrylic paint. A little bit of grassiness.
So far nothing I said. Got it.
No,
Right.
you got that. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
oh, just now you say black olive and it's there now.
See, I
Yeah,
don't
that's
get the
exactly
black
what that
olive.
is. Taste it now, thinking black olive.
Nah, I love black olives. There ain't no way in hell. No.
Another great thing about this flavor is well, not great, but
Now I did notice the apple right after you both said that though.
Yeah.
I did notice that on the nose. I didn't,
Yeah.
and I still, and it's a little bit of that bitterness like biting into a fresh apple.
But
That's underripe.
so not bitterness. It's
Well,
it's mouth dry.
greenness. That,
yeah.
mouth dry.
So a great characteristic about acetaldehyde, it just sucks the moisture out of your mouth. So take another sip and think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was meaning by bitterness. Was
Right?
that,
Yeah. Yep.
Because I noticed that after you said the apples, that's what I noticed.
yeah.
Yep.
It's definitely not, it's not like a crisp, juicy apple. It's a
No,
very,
it's under.
Yeah.
It's. I used to have apple trees at my house.
yeah.
And the amount of times that I'd get excited that there was apples and think they were ripe and pull one off a tree and take a bite. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yep. That's a good point. I mean, this is exactly what we demonstrate that. Hey, this is the acetaldehyde. It tastes like melon or leaves or apples. I don't care what it tastes like to you. This is acetaldehyde.
When you taste
know
that,
this, yeah.
So when you taste what it tastes like to you, you're going to know what it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is it's a yeast flavor. Acetaldehyde is the immediate precursor to ethanol during fermentation. This happens whenever you have stressed yeast. If you don't pitch enough yeast, don't add enough oxygen.
Got to give it massages every
I was
once
gonna
in a
say
while.
like
really rub
it's
it down.
being
real
worked too
good.
much.
Yeah. I see this a lot in big imperial stouts nowadays because breweries are making the biggest imperial stouts they've ever been made. They're pushing 14, 15%. When you're pitching yeast, it's not necessarily a linear curve. If you're trying to do a 7% beer, you don't pitch twice as much yeast and a twice as big beer to get 15%. It's typically a logarithmic scale, so you need a lot more yeast to get a good clean fermentation. That's the gist of it. Unhealthy yeast in any beer. So I really dislike this flavor. I'm very sensitive to it. I get it a lot.
It won't go away.
I notice it too. It lingers. And I'll notice it if I'm drinking a really big boozy beer, or even like bourbon or something. Sometimes, as the alcohol kind of dissipates and I have this lingering taste in my mouth, I kind of get that acetaldehyde flavor because ethanol can be re-oxidized back into acetaldehyde in the presence of
Really?
O2.
Huh.
Yep. So
Yeah, it doesn't go away.
no,
I'm not a fan of that.
Sure doesn't.
Yeah.
So if you said like these chemicals would be or natural or artificial or is it more commonly just naturally going through the process? It's something like these two seem like they're more naturally occurring at least.
No, so I mean, if yeast make acetaldehyde, or if you make acetaldehyde in a lab, it's the same. It's still acetaldehyde. It doesn't matter.
Well, I mean, like as far as going through the process of making a beer, are you more likely to cross paths on something like this?
Are these
Accidentally,
more
like-
common flavors than others?
Oh yes, these are two very common flavors. That's
Okay.
why I brought them with because these are things that I see out in the market. All
Is that what you were going for?
I think.
good enough?
Jesus.
Good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can put into words what I'm trying to think right now. So
Yeah. Yeah, if you want to do this again, I got about 60 flavors that I could call out.
that was a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of off flavors.
Yeah,
Wow.
Some are real bad.
You're gonna bring some rotten egg stuff.
Yeah.
Ooh, I kind of pass on that.
I'm
one.
not drunk enough to agree to
Yeah,
this.
that doesn't sound near as fun. Those two are like at least tolerable. Like
I'm not drunk enough to agree to this shit.
Oh yeah, rotten egg and.
Is there any beer style that I can't even say it.
Acetaldehyde.
Acetaldehyde would be appropriate in?
I say no personally. That's this flavor that I don't think should be in
Smells
any
like.
beer.
I don't care if somebody else says yes. The answer is no.
Just don't do it.
Fair.
Because the difference is that's a sign of just poor brewing. It's you don't have healthy yeast, and not pitching healthy yeast is
Poor brewing.
one of the most important parts of making beer. So I don't know. To me, it's something that should never be there. If it's there, it's a sign of someone not being great at what they're doing. And it's easily fixed. It's one of those things that you can easily get rid of. But
Yeah.
yeah, personal opinion.
So to dovetail off that, Stefan's asking for a clarification. He says, so like a barrel-aged beer that has a strong green apple flavor would be the ethanol oxidizing? Is that what you said?
It could be. It could be.
Okay.
It could just be the ethanol itself, or the beer itself was such a big beer that it could take time for that to kind of shine through. It's not necessarily there right away, so it's a tough flavor to kind of monitor and look for. But oxygen pickup can lead to this flavor, especially in big barrel-aged beers. I've seen it off more than once, even in beers that we've made. It's not, it's not anyone's fault. It's just something that kind of happens sometimes.
That German brewery that keeps retweeting our
Oh yeah.
going live did it again this week.
Perfect.
I'm sending some beer.
It's this random
right?
brewery
Yeah.
that we have no idea who they are. We've never talked to them. Never.
Yeah.
Every time we send that tweet out saying that we're going live,
They retweet it.
retweet
retweet it.
every time.
That's wild. I love that.
But hello and thank you for your assistance.
If you're watching, we love you guys.
Yes.
And if you want to send us beer, Danke. All right, guys, we are going to get to the beer
Not a
portion
beer.
of the show now
Yes.
because I need to He actually
Oh, yeah, good boys. Do we want to do beer of the night or most anticipated beers? I should
We're
say.
so
Sorry.
messed up
Yeah.
from having other plans that we forgot one of the most important parts of the show anymore.
Sony
Our
came in
most
and just fucked our plans up.
anticipated
Yeah.
beer of the night. Matt, you were first.
I'm actually gonna go with the Candy Bar just because it's a fun name and it sounds like it could be really good too. I've never had anything from them that I'm aware of. Label art's kind of cool. It's got enough things going for it. Looking forward to that one.
Jonathan.
I saw that blueberry maple stout from Saugatuck, and I'm just like, I love blueberry pancakes. I hope this is good.
And we surprisingly liked the last one a lot more than we expected. We expected
Yeah.
kind of a base stout.
I couldn't remember if we did or didn't, and that
buddy.
was we tried to ET phone home.
There was a spider.
There's a little spider.
There was a
coming
spider. So I killed it because I knew you'd like run.
Fake, yeah. That's what that one is. I flip this table.
Smo,
What's the question?
what
Which
beer
one
are
of
you
these beers?
anticipating just by looking at them?
Firestone Walker. They are one of my favorite breweries in the world, and I think they can put out anything.
I think I forgot that, but I'm glad.
When I feel like an asshole.
We absolutely made fun of Matt a little bit because he
Yeah.
got it on Tabor,
He did buy it off the table.
and we're like,
Oh, dude, you could buy
Did I?
yeah, it was the anniversary Firestone box.
cool box, though.
It
is.
Yeah, it is. But I've seen this box literally at like 6 different liquor stores around the area.
Yeah.
Because Firestone, but it was funny because he ordered it immediately. John and I went, yeah, you don't need to buy anything by them.
Yeah.
Not because we don't want it, but because we can drive down 2
Yeah.
minutes down the road. For me, I'm gonna go with the. I'm actually gonna go with our malt liquor,
I thought about it.
only because I think it should be hilarious. It's malt liquor mixed with a sour, mixed with a fruit. Which that face right there is the whole reason that I put it on the table to drink tonight.
I think that's a short board, just like Tyler reading it off in Smo's face.
When I heard Smo was bringing off flavors for sure tonight, I was like, okay, where are you drinking this?
This is why I drink Coors Banquet a lot, because, this shit happens, and I just want a beer,
It is one beer, yes.
I'm so happy.
It would be great. I don't know.
It might be.
It might be.
Maybe.
Anyway, so the first beer is by Baba Brewing. Actually, technically Brew House. Baba Brew House. This is their Candy Bar. Berliner Weiss. It is strawberry and chocolate, coming in at 5.3%. Our friends at Indie Craft Brew grabbed this for me. So, what do you call a sheep covered in chocolate? Is what the question is. There's no answer anywhere. But,
Because it's a candy
Candy
bar.
oh, I get it. Huh, that's dumb.
Wow.
Well,
All right,
I'm sorry.
New favorite beer.
I had to work really hard to read that.
Sure. Yeah.
Small print in cursive.
Candy bar, the biggest
Yeah.
type on there.
Clearly, someone never had popsicle brand popsicles as a kid.
I thought they were out of Boston or something.
I know. I was like, bah. Also, we got Chris Knight on. It says, "What's up, fellas?"
Hey, buddy.
And it says, "Sorry, I didn't catch who the guest is. Would you care to reintroduce yourself, Smo Money?"
Smell money.
Smell
Well
money.
done.
So,
I suppose I walked right
Kevin
into that
is
one.
the quality guy at Sun King.
Yeah. I'm a professional beer scientist for about 7 years now.
Chris is the beer rep for this area for Windmill Brewing.
Oh, I'm from Dyer, Indiana, so I know Windmill very well.
Which
Hometown.
we will be getting a 4-pack of Windmill beer probably next time he delivers to Muncie.
Good stuff.
Nice.
Was what I was just informed
That's good stuff.
a minute ago on social media. Thank you, Chris. You're a good man.
Shout out to him on that too. I took the 4-pack he gave us
do
last
like
time I
the
saw him
can.
to
You guys switch.
football party, and Windmill was a big hit there. Everyone there really liked them. So
Yeah, it's cool.
Windmill solid beer. We have enjoyed them immensely on the show.
Yeah. 3 by Citra.
That's my hometown.
Oh, 3F by
Hometown,
Citra.
Yeah, you get up
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
3F by Citra is one of my favorite IPAs out right now.
oh yeah, it smells like one of those chocolate covered cherry cream things, cram.
Well, it's supposed to be chocolate covered strawberry, so. Ooh, that's not bad.
It's wild.
I mean, it looks like Pepto Bismol, but it tastes good.
definitely Kevin's favorite style.
Last time Kevin was here, we made him drink pickle beer.
No, that was
At
at
my
the
house.
brew.
Oh, that was at the house. We
Yeah.
brought it over to your house. That's right.
Yes, thank you for bringing that to my home.
That's a safe
It makes a
space.
hell of a Michelada.
That I can imagine. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
This time, now that he's here, I'm making him drink a very interesting and unique beer.
It's fun. I enjoy this stuff.
You just like it because of the can making fun of me and me not realizing what it said.
That's the biggest part of it. Yeah.
No, the first time Kevin was on the show was the first night we ever had 5.
It was
It was a revolution.
the Revolution barley wine.
Yeah,
The fact that we had a 5
Yep.
was a revolution, or that the beer was from Revolution.
Both.
both. Yeah.
Nice.
We've only had 4 5s ever, and you were here for one of them.
Yeah. Awesome.
Now, we had one night where 2 of them were in the same night, but
Okay.
That was a good night.
it was by Ale Song Brewing.
Okay.
It was their Rhino Suit
That was really
and
good.
Senor
Senor.
Rhino. They were both
Awesome.
stupid.
It was an Imperial Milk Stout.
Okay.
but
They killed it.
Yeah.
yeah, the Rhino Suit was an Imperial Milk Stout barrel aged, right?
Yeah.
And it was great. And then the Senor Rhino had just all sorts of shit in it.
It was a barrel aged, and then barrel
Chilies.
aged tequila
It had
afterwards.
it had ancho chilies in it. It was barrel aged. Then they also aged
Had
it in tequila
Cocoa
barrels.
nibs.
It was fantastic. They were both
Yeah.
just stupid good. And then I forget what the other one is off the top of my head right now.
Sure.
Yeah. So I don't get a lot of chocolate when I taste it, but like definitely on the nose.
See, I finish chocolate.
Yeah.
Is how it finishes for me. I finish with that chocolate covering. Definitely a little chocolate on the nose. Strawberry comes through well for me.
One of the better strawberry beers we've had.
That doesn't take much.
No, strawberry seems to be really hard.
Yeah, but apparently it does take a lot at the same time.
Is it? Is strawberry difficult?
It is because it's very seedy.
I guess that
All the
makes sense.
seeds are very plasticky when you get them in beer,
That makes
especially
sense.
with alcohol. So the strawberry is a real tough flavor to get in beer.
Is there anything left
It's
in
also
that?
super expensive. Yep.
All right, that makes sense then, because we have not had good strawberry beers.
No.
While we're finishing this off, a couple quick updates. We got 7 Blisters on. Says, evening, gentlemen.
So,
What up?
And Carrie Davis just joined on. Says, missed the first couple beers, but I'm back.
Actually, this is the first beer, Carrie.
Yeah.
What you missed was us trying purposely adding off flavors to our beer.
Yeah, we did a whole education session.
Yeah, you missed our education session, Carrie.
It's like Sesame Street.
But our first beer tonight is the Candy Ba Berliner Weiss by Baba Brewing.
What?
You burnt or
Strawberry chocolate Berliner Weiss.
I prefer to think more like the end of the G.I. Joe episodes. You know, knowing is half the
I
battle.
don't know.
All right, you two. John, any final thoughts on this beer before we grade it?
No, I think it's fine. Very drinkable. It says it is what it says it is.
Yeah.
Got a little bit of that sour, slushy sort of mouthfeel. It doesn't look the best. It's kind of a weird color, but
A little bit.
yeah.
I mean, if it's a strawberry slushy, though, do you want it to come out green?
Well, but it's
It'd
fine.
be Instagrammable if it was.
I mean, we had a grape one that was green, which was delicious.
I think I'm gonna go 3.75 on it.
Not a bad score for
Yeah,
it.
I think it's solid.
Just a reminder, guys, for those of you that haven't been on in a while or may have forgotten or are new to the show, our score is done on the Untapped scale of 0.25 increments. So from 0.25 to 5, we can't score a 0 because Untapped won't register that. So 3 being a perfectly average beer for us. Above 3 is above average. You hit 4 or higher, that's beer we're searching out, we're looking for. You get above, you get in the 4.75 and 5 range. That's not only a beer we're searching out, that's something we consider one of our new favorites. Opposite direction, under 3 is below average, obviously. Under 2 is, we're starting to get into
I'll drink it, but I won't
territory.
like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1 or lower is, hell no, put that shit in the trash, I'll drink water. So yeah, that's our scale. Smo, what is your score?
So my initial thought, when I first smelled it, all I got was chocolate. But like
Yeah.
Hershey's Kisses chocolate. It's going to have that butyric-y, slight kind of Bailey's Irish cream, vomity character that went away pretty quickly. And it was just real strawberry forward, real chocolate
slushy
strawberry.
coming up.
Love the acidity to it. I thought it was kind of perfect for this kind of style. Some are so tart and just grating that it's rough. So I was at like around U375, but what stopped me was right here in the can. It says explosive beer with a little cartoon bomb. Fuck you guys for that. Seriously, that's dangerous. Stop it. You don't need to make exploding beers.
I mean, I've had this. This beer's been. We've had it for a while now. I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we keep it
You
cold.
kept it cold. Yeah.
I mean, it
I-
came
I-
from
it
Muncie
can
to
be
here.
done though. It can.
Yeah.
Beer can be made.
So
This
what are you
style
gonna
of
give
beer
it then?
can be made.
So what are you gonna give it then?
I'm giving it 3 just because that makes me mad. That infuriates. As a quality beer guy, I mean, there's no reason.
That's
for that.
fair. No.
So-
I'm gonna give it a 3.75. I'm gonna ignore the mostly because they at least warned you, unlike some smoothie companies that I've
That's
had,
fair, that's fair.
where they
Yeah,
just give
yeah.
you a beer and you pray.
I've never seen that on there. That's
So
interesting.
they're at least telling us. So I'm gonna give them credit for that and just keep it where I had it at a 3.75.
What did they tell us?
That it's an explosive beer,
Explosive beer.
and Smo docked it pretty heavy for
Sorry,
it.
yeah. Not that.
Love it.
Yeah.
Matt, if you counted, what would your score be?
I would go a strong 3.75. I would almost go a 4, but it's not quite that particular one I would search out. But I would be more curious to try a lot of their other stuff, see what else they've got.
I would definitely be curious to try more candy, or by any more Baba.
Yeah, that,
3.5.
3.5, thank you.
yeah, it's a 3.75 plus. It's not enough to put it over 4.
So, as you see me writing down scores, if you're new to the show, we take the average of the 3 scores. Off-screen Matt doesn't count.
Never. Well, sometimes, but
Rarely.
normally not. We don't like it when he goes.
We try really hard to make it so he doesn't count. But you can find all our scores from all past almost 400 beers now. We won't get there this week, but I think we'll get there next week.
Woo!
Excuse me, sorry, I'm burping all of a sudden. It must have been all the goddamn off-flavor shit. No.
Yeah, blame that.
Not the exploding beer.
No, learning. This is awful.
But, so you can find us on Untapped, all our past beers under Two Bearded Guys. You can also find us on all social media accounts almost. We are on TikTok, we are on Twitter, we are on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram. Find us on Untapped. You can find our website at twobeardedguys.com.
Yeah.
And what can they do when they find our videos and stuff, Tyler?
Can you let me continue talking?
Like and subscribe.
And then smash that like button. No, he had his finger over it. That's why I was stalling.
Nice.
Basically, Matt was actually trying to be on top of it for once, and I couldn't let that happen.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
But it
Can't
does,
win!
it does help us out a lot. I was just checking our Two Bearded Guys Untapped just to make sure I was right. We're going to be just short of 400 today.
Okay.
So next week we will we'll pass it. That'll be fun. John was kind of thinking about doing something for us, so maybe we'll do a chug or something. It's been a while.
Okay.
We haven't done a chug in a long
been a
time.
minute.
So
This is the hurrah. We'd have like 5 t-shirts each.
it's accurate. But yeah, so it's a 3-5 for the Candy Bar by Baba Brewing Company.
I do like the name. That's fun.
Where are
Yeah.
they out of?
Texas.
Texas. Yeah.
Of course they are.
I think it's at Fort Worth.
Only weird beers come out of that state, I swear.
And lagers.
Brookshire.
Brookshire. Okay.
Couple of quick interjections here. All right. Brett Pittsford says, "You are so much better than I am at describing what you dislike about beers, John." I think that's a compliment.
That doesn't take much.
And Brant Finley says, "Strawberries are the only fruit with seeds on the outside." Don't know that I knew that.
Yes, I told you, Russell. You was
it's
on
not
that.
true. Is raspberries not a fruit? Blackberries not a fruit?
Raspberries on the inside, aren't they?
No.
Are they not?
I've got some up in the
I don't
fridge.
have my
Maybe
phone.
during the break I go get
I
us
could have
some.
sworn blackberries had the seeds on the outside.
I don't know.
Maybe I'm imagining.
Might be a
shit.
fun fact-checking thing for later on the
No,
break.
he's probably right. I'm an alcoholic. It's fine. Oh wait, no, I'm a professional.
We are professionals.
Yeah.
Not an alcoholic.
Professional alcoholic.
Yeah. Sorry, I was passing around the
Just
new meme. So make sure you follow Offscreen Matt for the newest memes. There is a fantastic one right now.
Oh, Brant said he got it from Snapple. They don't lie, so...
Snapple's wrong quite often, actually.
never.
As much as kids, I didn't want to believe that. But
Even when they're wrong, they're right, Tyler.
fine, fuck everyone. Hate you all.
It's reciprocated. It's fine.
Our next beer is an Indiana brew by Hop Lore Brewing Company. It's called the Blackberry Cobbler Dream. Brewed with blackberry, vanilla, brown sugar, and cinnamon.
Stefan, are you still watching?
I will say I have had this before. I'm excited for you guys to try it. It is unique.
Okay.
I enjoyed it, but yeah.
Unique can be a polarizing word. Is that a good unique or a... You gotta try this. Like, oh, dude, come here. Come smell this. Like,
No,
one of
not
those.
that. Not that.
It's the color of jelly.
I mean, it's blackberry.
Oh, blackberry
you see
cobbler.
the slime beers going around?
No. Oh, the
Jellied. Kind
Yes.
Of yeah.
I saw someone like cut the can off of a beer can and then pour it out like cranberry
Yeah.
well,
dressing.
that's
Oh, I
because
did see
it's
that.
literally like alcoholic cranberry sauce.
Which part of me is like, I would try that, and then the other part is like, for 3 bites. I don't know how chewing my beer would go.
I do like canned cranberry sauce for Thanksgiving.
Brewed with imagination.
I do too. But
If you find yourself thinking
Mixed
that our
with
brew is
gravy and
curiously
turkey.
different, there's good reason. At Hop Lore, we combine precise brewing science with a whimsical splash of creativity. Reimagine what a great beer can be.
I'd buy this in a candle.
It smells delicious.
smells like blackberry cheesecake.
Yeah.
Yep, that nails it. I was like, it doesn't quite smell like...
John just gave it a great compliment, though. I would buy this in a candle.
Yeah. It smells
Yeah,
amazing.
right.
It's got a little bit
Hold
of
on,
that
hold on.
cinnamon heat.
Guys, when you're
warmth
doing
in
the
it.
smaller swirl, make sure you go one way for a little bit, and then switch and go the other way.
Perhaps
when you
even in
smell
your
it,
non-dominant hand.
make sure you give
He's
it a
taking
little
what I
pull.
said and he turned it all around. It's the opposite way of what you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
Because it puts your mindset in the...
Tasting mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, or you just go one way then the other.
You do you.
It's called the smaller swirl, not the Danner swirl.
He didn't even know we talk about it.
I had
till-
no idea until right now, so I'm gonna.
This has literally been an every show
I'm
thing.
not mad. So,
We have no higher honor than to name something after you in the show, because we have no money. But
good enough. It's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's fun. What's the base beer for this? 'Cause it's not sour. It's not very tart.
Doesn't say.
Yeah. I mean, not Berliner Weissy, so it's kind of there's a tartness from the blackberries. The cinnamon and brown sugar are awesome in this.
Yeah, the brown sugar's fantastic.
yeah.
Yeah. It's like
A little bit of
pie crust.
vanilla. I mean, that's
Yeah. No, that's super tasty.
Like, I would like... If you had this frosting and on top of an Omo cookie...
Dip cookie in this. Yeah.
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 you could do a lot with it. This would be
Yeah.
amazing to give to Erin Donovan and have her make a cheesecake,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
So I'm here for that.
which she just got. She just gets some New Bourbon County to do a cheesecake with.
Probably.
I think that's what I saw her post.
And while we're
It's so
sitting
u-
here...
It is unique. Like, you're not... Like,
Yeah.
It is unique. I don't know if I've had a
I
beer
haven't
like
had
this.
anything like this. I've had some that have tried to be like this and didn't succeed.
I appreciate it's not a Berliner Weiss. I like that about this. If it was tart, I think I would enjoy it less.
It's
But
got
it's-
just a little tart
yeah.
from the fruit,
From the
not
fruit,
from
yeah.
the beer.
Yeah, which
Right.
I found that it feels like sometimes they're really forcing that sour thing into a beer. Like,
Right.
just make it some kind of fruited whatever you're doing, and don't force the sour because that's just ruining the flavor of the beer. Because like this fruit or whatever you're putting in there doesn't match the sour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I met Stefan, it was he brought this to Books and Brews Muncie Bottle Shop. They were doing a tap takeover. That's when I got the Butter stuff. That's when I got this, and we hadn't had a chance to have it yet. And I've been worried about it just because it's a fruited beer. It's been sitting in the fridge for a while. It's like we need to drink it. Need to drink it. It is just as good as when I had it on tap.
Really.
Yeah.
Like this is what it tasted like on tap that day.
Yeah. It's super
And
good.
speaking of, Stefan is confirming, no, it is not a sour, and Brandt is further confirming Stefan is killing it up there in Leesburg. So,
Yeah. Good call on that, Stefan. That's a great choice.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
we enjoyed the hell out of it. I had more than one that night.
Yeah.
And I was also drinking many other beers that night. It was a fun night.
that is really good.
Trip up north to hit up. I mean, there's a lot of.
There's some
great
decent
places now.
breweries up there now.
Yeah.
The Fort Wayne, Leesburg.
Yeah, I've heard
because
this. I've heard this.
it's northwest
Dome.
of Fort Wayne, but not too much. Like Leesburg's right in that area, so
Yep.
it'd be a solid trip up one of these days. Wrong pipe on that last sip a little
Rest is
bit.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Matt, did you have any thoughts on this one?
It's quite delicious. It's like I said, it's a unique thing. It's definitely different, but it's not one of those. You need to try it for the novelty. No, it's just good, unique. Like I've not had anything else I could really compare this to. I think Kevin really nailed it. It almost reminds me more of a cheesecake than a cobbler per se. Not necessarily a bad thing, but it's just got that rich vanilla forward kind of thing, and then the graham cracker really comes through like on the end for that nice cheesecake crust.
Does it have graham cracker in it? Because I get graham cracker, but maybe it's just because it's reminding me.
That's
of
the brown
cheesecake.
sugar.
Part of the brown sugar,
Yeah.
but it finishes just like biting into like
Crumbly.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
crust,
sweet
yeah.
without being diabetes in a can.
Yeah.
It's got the fruit
Because
tart, but
that
not
fruit
sour.
tart helps cut that overall sweetness while still being a sweet beer.
It's not thick either. I appreciate that. It's,
Right.
it's not thin, but it's a good medium body.
Yeah.
Good carbonation on it. That's
Beautiful color.
super good, man.
I would like to
Super
see
good.
like some different flavors of this, like maybe like a peach or,
I think
or
they've
a
had
key
different
lime or
dream
something like
flavors
that.
if I remember
'cause
right. Stefan,
personally,
let me know if I'm wrong, but I think you guys have done other dream flavor or other cobbler flavors or dream flavors, whatever.
Personally, blackberry doesn't appeal to me as much, but I'm sure like a lot of other fruits, like a cherry one especially, like ooh, that'd be
Cherry
good.
would be good. Yeah.
Smo, you're first this time.
I'm first. 4.25. This is delicious.
It's a solid beer. I'm not going to disagree. I'm going to go 4.25 as well.
Exactly where I was. Yeah.
So what's the average?
Well, that's easy math.
4.25. No math this time.
Calculator.
That's actually why John and I went with that. We're like, fuck math.
No, it definitely earned a 4.25. It's very, very good.
Yeah, no, that was tasty.
Yeah.
And it was exactly. I was worried. It's set in the fridge for what, a month now?
Yeah.
Just
probably.
short. Just short of a month. And it's
'Cause
sat there a little bit.
November's only like 5 days long.
Seems
Like,
like it.
seriously. It's just Halloween.
It's set in the fridge for about a month. I had it on tap, so I knew what it tasted like in my head. I was really afraid to take that first sip because I knew what it was in my head, and I'm like,
Stefan's watching. You're
and it
like,
was
oh, God,
yeah, Stefan, who I talked to that night's watching. I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna just rail it because we always talk about this can this time.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm gonna rail this beer that while sitting next to him, I was like having 3 of, telling him how amazing it was. Oh, thank God.
Yeah, it held up. It held up.
Oh yeah, no extra carbonation, nothing really.
No.
So not even
It was
concern
fantastic.
whatsoever. So
Clean, well
really,
made.
Really, really good job.
Oh, yeah.
Really good job.
Thanks, Stefan.
Yeah.
Well, he says peach is coming,
Okay.
Yes.
and then he says haha. But but yeah, that should. I would be looking forward to that flavor personally.
sure.
Yeah, that I bet peach would be good.
What's ABV on that? Sorry, I don't mean to keep sticking with that.
I don't know if it's
just
on the
curious. Just curious.
Stefan, you're gonna have to help me out. You didn't put it on the can.
Legally, you don't have to, so don't do it.
All
Just
right.
leads to all sorts of issues.
Yes, if you're wrong.
It's a much bigger problem than putting it on the can.
If you're wrong, it has to be tested. Yeah.
But I know a guy.
I'll give you a discount.
Oh shit. All right, our next beer is the Lightning Drops IPA. John's been dying to drink this
Because the can's just
specifically
amazing. And it's a black can, black label. Yeah, I'm in.
specifically because of the label. It's by Resident Culture Brewing Company. This is there it is. Hazy IPA hopped with Citra, Mosaic, and Galaxy, bursting with juicy tropical fruit and dank citrus.
So it should be a fairly traditional.
And another one without an ABV. So,
Date on the bottom.
nope.
Cool.
And it's a Tabor beer, so you know.
So it's
Can't tell-
probably May to July would be my
No,
guess.
no. This was out of the second box beer.
Okay.
We just moved it over
So
last
July
week.
to September.
Yeah.
So while you're pouring, Stefan was asking ABV question mark. That's if you know what that is, that'd be cool. We're kind of curious to see what that would be, Stefan.
Oh,
And-
you were still asking him. I thought that's what
No,
he
he
typed back.
Well,
I
he
was
typed
like-
an ABV question mark, so as a kind of confirm, like, yeah, if you know that, that'd be kind of cool. Russ say he's got a bounce. Have a great show to us. Same to you, good sir.
Make sure you listen to Turfs Up Radio, Nightcap with Hecubus, Mondays through Fridays from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern, and especially on Thursdays when you can hear the amazing tones of John on there, and occasionally me and occasionally Matt.
Well, we will for sure this week, Russell. Promise.
Oh, yeah, we missed last week, didn't we?
We missed like several weeks. So.
Have we?
Yeah.
There was only 1 week you asked me about.
Well, I didn't even ask this last week.
Oh, it was
because
Turkey Day.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So.
I forgot that was this week.
Yeah.
I could have done that this week, actually. Would have given me an excuse not to listen to my niece yell and scream in my ear.
But yeah, well, we'll be on this Thursday for sure.
I mean, I love you, Brett. We
Smells
did
dank.
do, actually, for those of you that have heard us mention my brother Brett on this show because he watches every week,
I need to watch that.
Brett and I actually sat down and did a 2-bottle tasting. He's always wanted to be on the show, but he works Tuesday mornings. Like, that ain't going to work. So eventually we'll have him on, but not for a while probably. So what I did is I was at the grocery store for Thanksgiving food, and they had Old Rasputin gift set.
Oh yeah. It's
2 glasses. It was a 2017 aged in bourbon barrels
wanted that.
and a 2019 aged in rye. And it was like $40. You got 2 glasses, 2 bombers for $40. I was like, okay.
Where was this?
So I found it at
Myers.
Meijer.
Brian was
So
just telling me about this today.
Brett and I sat down and we did about a 40-minute long tasting of those 2 beers. Actually, I don't think it was that long, about 30-minute long. talked about the 2 beers. I kind of worked Brett through what we normally do. It was fun. I taught him the smaller swirl.
Part of the experience, man.
I'm a little touched, honestly. That's kind of cute.
Oh no, it is becoming absolute part of this
It
show.
is part of what we do. It is part of the TBGU.
We even talk about like pulling it away. as you're-
I can't
Watch
wait
out,
for my
Marvel.
wife.
We're coming
Yeah.
for you.
We are coming from Marvel.
She'd be so proud.
But yeah, we even talked about that, and it was a blast. They were good beers. The bourbon barrel one was like bourbon forward, but then the rye one was a lot smoother. And they both were fantastic. It's on our Instagram, on our IGTV, 2 Bearded Guys. It was fun. We went live. I think only one. It was Thanksgiving, so we knew nobody'd really watch it. There was like one person. I think Cam
watched it.
Cam watched it.
Hey, remind me, I got to talk to you about Cam stuff anyway.
And by Cam stuff, he means the iRacer we sponsor, not our OnlyFans that we haven't
OnlyFans.
created yet.
You haven't created it.
Implying that it's coming.
I mean, I sent you that video of the glitter beards. I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
that's right, yeah. People are into some weird stuff, you know?
Big guys with glitter beards, baby.
You
Woo!
know, yeah. They
All right, I'm changing the subject. Stefan says it's about 5% on that beer, if he recalls correctly.
Okay.
Thanks, Stefan.
Thank you, sir.
I really want to get Smo's opinion on this.
I really want to get a glitter beard. It's like, oh, god damn it, John.
I don't. But I did actually. It was Halloween last year at Rad. I got glitter beard.
Yeah, but not really good.
No.
No, this is, they even show you how to do it. Straight up, it's literally just hairspray, glitter, hairspray. That's all it takes.
This to me is way over hopped.
Fine without that.
Like I'm not getting hot burn, but I'm surprised I'm not. It's
I'm gonna say flavor. Do you guys get onion out of this?
a little bit. Damn it.
I'm not necessarily getting onion. It's really grassy with a flavor that I can't place, and it might be what you guys
I
call
get
onion.
a little bit of white onion.
My problem is I think it might be because my brain's going, that's not in beer. That is just telling me I don't know what the off flavor I'm tasting is.
Yeah.
I know a guy for that.
No, I think it's my brain literally just going, no,
Nah.
you don't taste that.
Yeah.
Because there's something there, and my brain's just going, you don't know what it is.
How about
That's fine.
how about armpit?
Don't do that to me.
Do one of these. And then do one of these.
I showered before I came over here. It won't
Oh,
work.
never mind. Here, come here.
And there's deodorant. Showered and deodorant. So
Yeah, he was screwed. No, Mosaic is kind of oniony and high level. Citra, a little armpity. It's not a bad beer. I mean, I don't necessarily dislike it, but
A little armpity. I'm never
We
going
get
to drink
funk.
that
funk,
away.
yeah.
yeah, I'll give you
A
funk.
little BO kind of funk. to
Yeah,
it.
I guess I could see that.
Yep.
But
And pineapple.
for me, I'm getting a lot of I'm getting a little grassy. There's a little bit of fruit notes to it, which doesn't surprise
dank.
me. When you have Mosaic, Citra, and Galaxy, you're going to get a little fruit notes. Definitely a danker hazy than I've had in a while.
Yeah.
I don't mind it, but I like dankier IPAs. So
Yeah.
After the show, Tyler tends to do the danky leg.
it's called the stanky leg. Damn it!
That's the joke.
I hear jokes. I don't want to acknowledge that he has them.
Ah, okay. All right. Good to know. Good to know.
I try. I just try.
Don't make me acknowledge Matt said something funny. Because that was good. Damn it.
Never let him know it was good. But
Fucking shit. Wow, I didn't even put these beers in the order I had them down, but I actually probably put the right one first on accident.
Yeah. Probably.
Well, I forgot that was a hazy till after I poured it, so.
yeah.
God, I'm burping like crazy on this episode.
It kind of
Those
lingers a
off
little
flavors.
bit.
It's got the hazy IPA, like pummicy kind of mouthfeel, which I just, that's why I'm not big fans of this style. I don't care for that kind of gritty,
That little bit of
grittiness. Yeah, I don't know. It just
Yeah.
bothers me. Flavor's not bad. It is super hoppy. It
Yeah.
go back a pound per barrel. But yeah, I mean, it's not poorly made. It's clean otherwise. Just too much hops.
Yeah, I'm not really tasting like anything that didn't come with the hops. There's just a lot of
There's a
hops.
lot. Yeah.
It's not like it's a, I'm not getting those traditional off flavors. I'm just getting there's a lot of hops. Matt, do you have anything to say about it? I know you're the least IPA guy probably here, so
Yeah, stand behind that. I don't know. It's okay. It's just not being a big IPA guy. It's fine for what it is. I think it's one that I could drink, but it's not like my favorite one that we've had on the show by any means. Like it's definitely drinkable. It's not bad.
Yeah. I think with this style too, it's gotten to the point where I've had this beer at least a dozen times.
Yeah, I mean,
I
it's
kind of all
You
taste.
sure
Citra
only
Mosaic
it
and
does
Galaxy.
Yeah. 4 years ago,
Well, no,
5 years ago.
Citra Mosaic and Amarillo is the one
Yeah.
we're getting like
Yeah.
every fucking beer lately.
Citra Mosaic, they're such cheater hops, you know. But it's just, 5 years ago, this would have been a fantastic, unique beer. Now everyone does the same thing, and there's like one way to make them, and they all kind of taste the same.
We've noticed like the last 4 weeks leading up to this one, and I didn't look
Yeah.
at the hops in these yet, but it's literally been Citra Mosaic Amarillo.
Yeah.
Citra Mosaic Amarillo.
Yeah.
Citra
Yeah.
Is that why I'm getting burnt back out on the IPAs I thought I liked again? It's like, oh no, these are all the same again. Like,
This one at least threw Galaxy in there, which is still common, but at least it was like, we tried to throw something different. Because we've also had nothing but Citra Mosaic and Amarillo.
Yes.
I'm first
You're
on this
first,
one.
yeah.
I enjoy it. It's got the dankness of the IPA style I like, but part of it is it's overhopped. I'm only going to go 3.25 on it. I think it's slightly above average, but 3.25 for the style, the hops, and the amount. That's as high as I can go.
I was going to go 2.75, and I'm going to stick with it. It's not bad, but I think if it's going to at least be an average beer, which is a 3, it shouldn't be overhopped. And it is, so it's 2.75.
Smoke.
I was at 3.5. I didn't think it was that bad. I agree. It kind of tastes like every other hazy IPA out there, but there's nothing necessarily wrong with it.
Yeah.
The hops, but that's not. It's well made, and if I
3.25.
wanted
3.25.
something real dank and hoppy, this would scratch that itch, you know.
It was dank and hoppy without being upfront bitter like some old school traditional IPAs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's definitely an IPA that an old school IPA guy could enjoy while still doing more of the New England, little softer.
Yep.
Now, which is weird because if I'm reading New England and I'm a New England fan, I'm probably not going to be a huge fan of this.
Right. Well, it's not sweet either. That's the
No.
benchmark of New England IPAs is always very sweet, and this was. They call that mountain style when it's a hazy IPA that's not sweet. Mountain style IPA is kind of a new emerging subgenre of another fucking IPA. So I can I swear on this? I keep
Oh,
saying
yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
just
yeah,
making
yeah,
sure,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
it's
yeah.
encouraged, actually.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
If you don't cuss, we actually throw you out.
Fair enough.
We
Fair
get
enough.
fines when you don't cuss.
You start losing sponsors, right?
Actually, yeah, we probably would,
Yeah,
knowing
yeah,
our
yeah.
knowing the sponsors we have.
It's kind of, yeah. They know what they're getting into.
Yep. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
Can I swear on this?
Just want to make sure.
It's a fair question.
All right, guys. So it is going to be 8 o'clock. So we're actually going to have a bigger second half than normal.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the reverse of our normal shows, just because of starting it off with some science.
I gotta throw in Brett's got a good one. He says, I was playing a drinking game for every time I heard the word dank.
Brett would be hammered
Yeah,
just
good luck tomorrow, man.
Yeah. You gotta
Dank,
work,
dank,
right?
dank, 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 dank.
Sorry, bro. Yeah.
What word is it he was drinking for?
Dank.
Dank.
Oh, that's right. And that was pretty dank.
That was real quite dank.
But guys, it is almost 8 o'clock, so we're going to go ahead and hop off here for our brief 2 to 5 minute break. We'll hop right back on. We have 5 beers still lined up,
Power through.
including the one I can't
believe
wait
in
to
us.
make Smo drink.
Here we go.
I'm such an ass. But we love you guys. Thanks for listening. I'm TBG_Hops Guy.
My dog being cute.
With us today,
Smell money.
behind the camera.
I'll scream Matt.
See you in a minute. Welcome back to hour number 2 of the Two Bearded Guys. My favorite hour because I get drunker.
Yeah.
I'm TBG_ops guy.
My dog B&Q.
Smell money.
The one, the only.
I'll scream Matt.
It's the first time I've hyped him up tonight. I decided to be nice on that one. I'm excited. We have 5 more beers to go, including 2 stouts tonight, our Imperial malt liquor, and 2 more IPAs. I look
2 stouts?
just 2 stouts.
What's the second one?
The
The first one was that?
Firestone?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was like an anniversary ale because I was looking at that. I was eyeballing that one heavy
Is it?
earlier.
It is
yeah.
an
I didn't even look at
anniversary
it. Huh. Yeah, it's still going last. All right. Anyway,
ale. What's that?
he picked that beer today. I
I
didn't.
did pick that beer.
So our next beer is from Listerman. It's actually one of their collabs as well from Moore Brewing Company.
This is my favorite label,
Moore
I think.
and Listerman from downtown. New England Milkshake IPA brewed with El Dorado, Citra, raspberries, cheesecake, and lactose.
Cheesecake?
It's cheesecake.
It literally says
It's
cheesecake.
cheesecake.
Alright, let's go.
John picked this one too. Not my fault.
I did.
This is an 8%er. Supposedly. No, it's Listerman. I believe them.
Yeah,
actually.
they don't do much
But
under
their
8.
logo's cool
like
as
Pop and
crap.
Fog.
It is the old NBA Jam kind of style. The 2 teams playing against each other are Villa Park and Cincinnati. But yeah, no, this should be interesting. I love how it's not like the flavors to make cheesecake.
It's just cheesecake.
literally, there's cheesecake, bro.
Cheesecake.
Boom. Just drop it in there.
Not the first brewery to put pies and shit in their beer.
That's
I
very
guess.
true, yeah.
I did see a well-known local brewery is going to partner with Long's Donuts on a new pastry stout. That's cool.
Tell me who that is, I'm curious. Oh, crap.
Did you not know?
No, I did not know.
Is this going to be a letdown laugh, John? Is that what that was?
It's something. Yeah.
That was just.
It's not us.
You guys posted it.
Did we? Longs?
Yeah. Yeah, they posted it.
You guys always do Jacks. What in the world?
No, we did Jack's last time. We're doing,
Yeah, and that was
I heard,
it. Was the post about the pastry stout being recognized by winning an award,
yeah.
and then they said we're going to do Longs next.
No, we're not doing longs next. We're doing I can't tell you. I'll tell you
All right.
off screen, but yeah.
All right, well,
Yeah.
Somebody on your
the
marketing department messed
the
up.
post said Longs.
I thought we were going to, then they said anyway. I'll tell you the story later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody at the marketing department messed up.
So, well, maybe that post is taken down. We'll see.
That's funny.
Smells pretty good.
I just like the look on his face.
Oh, he does. I was just like, well, he don't know what I'm talking about. Oh, he doesn't know what I'm talking about. Oh. I don't get cheesecake on the
There is a
nose.
lot of raspberry.
A lot of hops in that too.
Mm-hmm. I like the flavors in it, but the hops drive everything away as you're.
It's like if you ever had a cheesecake and thought to yourself, "Hey,
Let's
let's make this really bitter." That's kind of what this is. It's
Because you get the raspberry as soon as it hits your lips, and then it gets pushed away. The softness, the vanilla lactose gets pushed away,
Yep.
and it's just bitter.
It's so bitter.
It's there. It is fleeting, and then it is not balanced.
No.
No, you not eat hops in this beer whatsoever. Raspberries, I like the raspberry flavor. The cheesecake, I don't really get cheesecake.
There's a little bit of like vanilla lactose-y
Yeah.
softness.
There's a
Yeah.
I get like the creaminess of like
there's kind of like a
cheesecake.
spoiled milk aroma going on.
I keep getting raspberry on the nose.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not.
Yours is more professional in nose, though. You know?
It is. Yeah.
I'm not disagreeing. There's a reason we named our one patented thing from the show after you.
Yep.
There isn't a John. Well, technically there is. Good tongue day.
Hashtag good tongue day.
John has a tendency because you've worked with him.
to have bad tongue days.
He could taste the same thing 8 days in a row and it be completely different 8 days
days
in a row. So we can always tell when John's having a really good tongue day, though, like when he can actually taste the things that are there, because he'll legitimately be like, he'll say something immediately, and we're both like, oh my god, he's right for once.
Yeah.
So we were wanting to make, which I don't think we haven't found the right art for it yet, but we're wanting to make mass that has like a clip art style tongue,
Oh,
that
yeah,
just says
yeah.
Good Time Day.
Nice. Nice.
Because, we're assholes. We're going to mark it on COVID.
I thought you were going to say highbrow humor, but yeah.
We love each other, so
Damn straight.
Yeah.
I see it.
Well, nobody loves me on the show. It's fine.
He's abrasive. It's fine.
Speaking of which, you didn't get your pet name of the week.
I know. I realized that. It's sad.
I'm okay with it.
Big old drumstick or something. I'll make it up myself.
Right after Thanksgiving and he didn't get one. That's sad. Beer-wise, though, back to this, I guess.
I go first, don't I?
Oh, did I miss the deep fried little turkey leg?
You're making it up.
This one, I mean, he looks so sad.
That wasn't as good as Liz's.
That's not. I was very on the spot there. She has a
Man,
whole week to think
that
them up.
bitterness lingers too. It's like,
does.
and it sits right here.
Yeah. There's no like hop flavor.
No.
It's all covered
No.
up by everything else in the beer, and that's just kind of the worst part of the hop
Yeah.
in a cheesecake beer.
Like, I like bitter, hoppy beers,
I do
but
too,
not in a
yeah.
fucking cheesecake beer.
Right. Yeah.
I'm conflicted on this because I actually like it,
You're weird.
but at the same time,
Hashtag not a good
it's
time
not done well. But I like it. It's just
I
not
know.
done well. It's not blended well. I like the various flavors in it. It just doesn't work.
See, I'm not a fan of it. Anything that A, doesn't balance together at all
Yeah.
pisses me off.
Yeah.
And the fact that I'm getting a little bit of raspberry and then it's getting pushed out by bitter. That
Mm-hmm.
is not a beer flavor that belongs in cheesecake. Like, I'm purposely not putting grassy stuff on my cheesecake.
Yeah.
You don't go to the Cheesecake Factory and be like, you know what I want? I want that grassy, bitter raspberry. No.
Yeah.
That's not a thing.
Well, and I'm not going to rate it super great. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, I don't mind it. The flavors aren't bad to me, but it just doesn't work. It's just
If somebody handed me one for free, I would still drink it. Like, I'm not going to rake it over the coals to
Yeah.
under a 1.
yeah.
So what just happened tonight? So like
Oh, yeah.
having it now for
Exactly. But other than that, yeah, no, I'm not a fan. You're first.
Yeah, I'm going to go 2.5. That's where I'm at.
Yeah. Yeah. 2.5 is fine. That's a little generous, but
You don't have to go there. You can
Yeah.
go lower.
All right, 2.
That's what I was
Yeah.
Mine's a 2.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
legitimately
fine.
was kind of hoping you'd stay at 2.5
Yeah.
just so I could be the guy raking it a little bit.
Man.
No, it's a 2. I'm not. Like, if you hand it to me for free,
Like
I'll
you did
drink
here.
it. Yeah,
I'm not going to finish it, though. That's the thing. I don't want any more of this.
Well, there we
Do I
go.
have to finish
What a
it?
bitch.
Is that a real thing?
I mean, everybody on this show is always finished
it's,
their
it's
beer.
kind of like hot ones. You don't have to, but
I
you
want
might
it.
get some comments if you
Even
don't.
that one beer we finished. We even finished Listerman.
I don't want to be Weird Al, you know?
We have. I'm fine with this. This is really funny.
What's the score?
He told me the nibblest
2.25.
nibbles.
Yeah, that was...
Yeah.
Two
It
great
totally
breweries,
didn't
too.
work.
Two great breweries.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Listerman, we've found Listerman is the owner of the worst score of good beer. I don't know if did you try that?
Did you ever try the Pride?
Yeah, it was straight vinegar. It was so bad.
So bad.
It was so bad.
What was that off flavor?
All of them?
Acetic acid. Yeah.
All of them?
What's that?
All of them.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Except for the rotten eggs. That's the only one I didn't get.
That was bad. Oh.
And depending on how much sediment was in your beer on that one, you may get a little mustard.
I wanted
It
to
was
dip a hot
straight
dog. I wanted to
vinegar.
dip a hot dog in
It
it.
was either straight vinegar or a little bit of mustard with vinegar. That was your options.
It was. Oh.
How much of that one did you drink?
Oh, we shared with several people, so if I had more than an ounce. Yeah.
Did you guys use it for your tasting or?
Oh, no, I don't do that to everybody.
Oh, that would
Yeah.
have been amazing.
There's a group decision. Hey, we're trying some beers, and hey guys, I brought this for everybody.
That was the only unanimous 0.25.
Really?
Literally all three of us that were here.
And you can't give a 0. That's just the lowest score you can
Yeah.
give. So.
It was so bad.
Something wrong with that one.
Ooh.
Now, the beer I picked specifically because of its name, it's Levante Brewing Company's Tickle Parts.
Oh,
Now you see why I picked it, right?
that's pretty good.
It's IPA.
Pickle parts or pickle farts?
Tickle Parts.
Pickle tarts.
It is a 7.1% IPA with Mosaic, Citra,
Citra.
Nailed it.
and El Dorado.
It's always that third one.
He's had El Dorado.
We did just have
That was the last one.
Sure was.
No.
Man, guys, come on. There's more than 3 hops out there.
Yeah, Amarillo. And Galaxy.
Soda beer. Right?
Enough commentary for the peanut gallery.
We might have to have an extra beer tonight just to make up for the shit stuff we've been doing.
Yeah, I gotta
This
say,
is the worst week we've had in a while, I
Yeah.
think.
I mean, looking at it before we sat down, I was like, oh, there's one stout.
We got a lot of IPAs to work through, though.
Yeah, that's the
I
problem.
guess true.
Because
Uh,
Taver went so IPA heavy for a while.
They did. I noticed that.
yeah, it's still kind of that way even now. That
Yeah,
we're in
it's stout season, and they've still been pretty IPA heavy.
Well, I think it's maybe kind of go back to just like everyone's making IPAs so much
nice
that it's
beer.
just what it is, I guess.
Be a little nicer. This will be the one that tastes fantastic.
Yeah, this will be like the best IPA ever.
I might have had this one already.
I
We're
pour
not
it
in
out.
danger.
It ends up just being. Oh. All right, tickle parts.
I mean, it smells like it.
It smells like tickle parts.
Don't
It
ask.
smells like what it is.
Yeah, if don't ask questions you don't want answers to.
Oh,
Ooh.
there's some heartburn. There it is.
This beer's set long enough that I
Back of
shouldn't
my
be.
throat.
Woo! I thought you were
It
throwing
is-
it back right there, like just getting it over with.
Yeah, he's like, oh.
It is real oxidized. That's an old,
Yeah.
that's an old hoppy beer. It's kind of raisiny and
We were talking about oxidization.
try again.
Oxidization. Oxidized.
Oxidation.
Oxidation.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Viscous.
Where's oxidized come in? This is he in that.
That's the first part
That's
of the word.
adjective.
Oxidized?
Verb? I don't know.
Oxidated?
I'm not English, man.
Oh my god,
Oxidated.
I'm so happy.
I know, it's good stuff.
Try again.
Like, we were talking about this and what it does. And so, does that add that raisin, like you said? Or
Yeah.
what is it?
So oxidation is this oxygen-hitting beer, which is the biggest spoiler of any beer. Traditionally, oxidation is always described as cardboard papery. This chemical called trans-2-nonenol that causes that cardboardy flavor. Shut up! You know I'm doing this.
I'm laughing because those are words like if I wanted to write them down to
Yeah.
take notes.
He
You
couldn't.
couldn't even.
I thought about it too. You're like, it's a word. And I was like, I literally had the pen like,
T2N is what we call it.
I won't remember what that fucking
That's like a
is.
Anyway,
Star
yeah.
Wars character.
It is,
Come on,
We'll
T2N.
we'll make a
Let's go to
shirt
Tatooine.
with a
Tatooine.
random thing.
T2N.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's all
Oxidization.
where I was at. T2N is mostly in lager beer, Pilsner malt. But yeah, other beers, ales, really raisiny, caramely.
I'm definitely.
hurts.
We're gonna design like a hop shaped robot.
And call it T2N.
T2N.
Yeah, all right, now we'll.
Also found planting the fields of Tatooine. A cantankerous T2N.
Nerd.
And I literally
Can I see
wrote.
the can real quick?
I literally wrote T2N hop shaped robot call Grace. Which, by the way, when we bring up Grace, one of the reasons is our awesome logo was made by our friend Grace, who is a
715.
fantastic tattoo artist. All four
Almost
beers
5
that you
months.
can see, all four beers that you can see on me are by Grace. John's actually getting a new one by her Thursday. And I'm sure his nerdy self will make sure and show it off Monday.
Yeah.
But make sure you check out. She's not a sponsor of the show, but she might as well be. Check out
She put the logo.
Brimstone_Grace_tattoos. She has some of the coolest art. She does just art projects as well. So if you can't get to Indiana to get a tattoo buyer, get a hold of her. And she might do a custom art piece for you and mail it to you. So check it out.
I thought you were gonna say she has some of the coolest stories.
She does have good
Speaking of
stories.
which, check
I.e.
out on YouTube, on our YouTube, the
Short pours.
Irish Pet Shop.
Irish Pet Shop of Horrors short pour, underpour. What is it?
Short pour.
Short pour. Make sure,
Possibly the greatest story ever told.
that might be the greatest story ever told. It
Yeah.
really, there's a good chance it is.
Now, it's
Nope.
Ass Cannon is good.
Ass Cannon is good. Pete's Ass Cannon was pretty good, but no, Irish Pet Shop of Horrors was definitely better.
I forgot about Ass Cannon.
You need to watch our show more often.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got kids.
We have great guests.
Yeah, when we cuss on the show, we are not kid
You know what
friendly.
shit I got for coming here tonight? Man,
Good old Ass Cannon.
Good old Ass Cannon.
I wish.
I need to go and make that clip.
All right, so it is a little older. It's what, 5 months you guys saw?
Almost 5 months.
Almost 5 months.
You know, for an IPA, 3 months max, and keep it cold.
Oh, we keep them cold.
Yeah. IPAs room temp. You got about a month on them. Cold. 4 months is really pushing it, but 3 months is always better.
So we had a really bad habit for a while of drinking the newest beer that came in. So what we've done, and we've gotten better, our time frame of how old a beer is has shrunk massively.
Trying to rotate,
Good.
you know.
We started getting into a better habit of rotating older to the front, actual, like you should.
FIFO.
But when we started this, again, we never expected it to grow as fast as we did. And then we were buying beer a lot and doing a lot of things. And we used to drink even more than 8 beers a show. And we were burning through beers. So then when beers would show up, we drank the new ones. And then shit would just kind of get shoved to the back.
Yep.
So John and I went through and checked the dates on every fucking can. Moved them to a specific box.
Yeah.
We pull at minimum 3 from that box every episode now.
Nice.
We
Good.
just have such a backlog of
We
them,
pull
yeah.
some from the stout shelf, and then we usually do have one,
Not this
maybe
week.
2 of the newer beers.
Sure.
But just because if there's a certain style,
Special slushy.
slushies we try to drink fast.
Yep.
Try. Different things like that, but we've been trying to pull a minimum 3 from that case every time. And then we take the second oldest case, we have a case that's the next oldest, we move that to the oldest, and then move the newer beers to the second oldest.
Yep.
So we're trying.
trying.
We're trying to be fair to these breweries.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that is a big issue with this beer. It's, as an IPA, relying a lot on the hops. It's just old. It oxidized a little bit, so probably not as good a care in that process.
So, learning opportunity for at least me, maybe, with the masterful Kevin on here. I learned last time you were on that canning is the superior process to bottling, unless you're wax tipping, because there's less chance of air seeping in to cause problems in the beer.
Sure.
With this being like a canned thing and being over so long, is it just naturally the lifespan of like the hops on this is going to expire, or is there still air getting in there, just not as much as a bottle?
A couple points to that. With hops are a green plant. They're like an herb. Fresh herbs are always best. Pull right off the plant, Dried herbs are never as bright. The other caveat to canning is not all canning lines are equal. So if you have a really kind of podunk, shitty canning line, you're going to get a lot of O2 pickup, which once it's in the can, it's not going to change any. It's not going to get worse, unlike bottles. But if you have a lot to start with, it's not going to go away. So if you aren't checking your dissolved oxygen, if you aren't, O2, if the can's open to air too long, it's.
I was going to say, because my former role was making sure part of it was making sure that the DO was low acceptable levels, so they may just not be doing that sort of process.
What's DO stand for?
Dissolved oxygen.
Nice. I think we didn't say that. So
Oh
it's
yeah,
it's
sorry.
a good
Dissolved
talking
oxygen.
point,
Yeah. You're right. No, that's professional.
He's better at our show than we are. Yeah, that's fine.
we don't. We're aware. That's why we have
Oh
people
wait,
like
no.
him
Most
on.
of the people that watch our show doesn't understand 2/3 of what he said today. So
Yeah.
Maybe you'll get. I don't know. Everyone's got to learn somewhere. It's beer. It's fun.
we dumb it down
This is
for
the
him after
best
you talk.
education you could ever have learning about beer.
Yeah.
Because of course you drink about it. Drink with it. Drink while you learn. I don't know.
What you learn.
Which I did in college, and that's why I ended up at a brewery, not medical school. True story.
I think you chose the right path.
Oh, 100% did.
100%.
This is way more fun.
Damn straight.
Especially right now. Oh, man. Dude, you doctors out there, bless your hearts. You're doing the Lord's work right now.
Lord's work.
My sister-in-law, Brett's wife's a niece,
Yeah.
her niece,
Oh,
nurse,
nurse, yeah.
and
Oh,
Well, she might be a niece too.
she was on a COVID floor at the hospital until she finally transferred out of it recently. Every time she came home, it was just, I hate my life.
I can't, yeah. Seriously, you guys are awesome. Thank you.
One of those, I love what I do, I hate my life. It's like, oh, wow.
We need to rate it though.
No, we don't.
We didn't rate this.
Um,
Kevin goes first.
yeah,
Yep.
thank God.
So, if I was on Untapped, which I am, look me up, named Santa, no numbers. Pretty cool I got that so early.
How'd you get Santa?
It started 8.5 years ago on Untapped. Almost 9. Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Why did you get Santa?
I used to be a professional Santa Claus in college. True story. I would play at parties and stuff. I had my own suit. Yeah.
Were you like the guy that would take off the suit and get dollar bills in your sack, or what?
I would go to parties dressed as Santa Claus, and it always worked out pretty well for me. I'll leave it there.
Is that what I've been doing wrong?
There you go. Give it a try.
Yeah, it was real jolly at those parties.
Like even outside of the holiday season.
Yeah, duh. Halloween was the best time to do it because everyone wants to sit on your lap. And you got slutty Big Bird sitting on your lap. It's pretty dope. Yeah.
I feel like that was more than just a random example.
Hypothetically, allegedly.
Yeah, if it was a thing.
Allegedly.
Anyway, Santa, look me up. Add me on Untapped. I'm on there all the time. If I wasn't, go back to what I was saying. I was on Untapped. I would not rate this beer because it is old. It's oxidized. As is, I give it a 3. But I like to try this one fresh. I think there's some good stuff there, some good flavors that just got lost because of its age.
Same. We've tried really hard on beers that have been older, and you could definitely tell that it's either been oxidized or something's kind of changed from sitting.
Mm-hmm.
We've tried to find fresher versions. We haven't had a chance with this one yet just because we hadn't tasted it. Sure. But I would love to try it again.
Yeah.
I think it could be good. I'm going to give it a 2.75. As is. We always talk about this can this time.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, if you go to a liquor store, there's a good chance you buy a 6-month-old IPA off the shelf.
Always look at the dates. Always look at the bottom
And
of
the
the
worst
can.
part is,
Yeah.
we've kept it in the fridge since we got it.
Yeah.
A lot of times you go to a liquor store, you might buy that same beer off a warm shelf. So we always do this can this time. I'm going to give it a 2.75. It's
That's
not
why I always buy
awful.
stout, kids.
It's not awful.
Yeah.
I think it has a body that could be fantastic. But as is, I'm giving it a 2.75.
What
I
was
was going to
the
go 2.5, so.
what was the ABV on that one again?
7.1.
It's something like
That's pretty generous though for.
You gave it a
think a
3,
three,
correct?
yeah.
So it's 2.75.
The other thing too is packaged in mid-July, and that traveled to Tabor's house and then to here. So
Yep.
it's been warm at some point.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously
It
it got
has.
hot, which is a huge killer of hoppy beers.
Not to
So-
chime in like unasked, but just because I did have a second one of these, and I typically try to wait till after we have them on the show before I drink them personally if I've got spares. That one, since it was an IPA and it was kind of getting older, I was like, well, may as well go ahead and jump on this. So
Jump on it.
my home run, but so
It's
yeah,
just Bloody Big Bird.
Then you said on it.
yeah.
Anyway.
Santa with a slutty pony. That I would like to see.
That was you.
But so I did try that one. It was considerably earlier than we have here. It did taste a little, fresher, but it wasn't like substantially like, oh my gosh, so much better or different. I think some of that, at least for me, is kind of just falls into that IPA category a little. Like Kevin was saying, like, oh well, it'll get so different after you kind of get a little jaded to it. But it was, I'd say, still probably like even that and this one kind of crosses. I'd say about like a 3 is a pretty fair rating from the other one I remember having and this one both.
That's it. Any IPA is
He
always
comes
best
out,
from the
it's
source.
fine.
Always best.
I'm just saying, I'm even being nice to Kevin right now.
Thanks, buddy.
Notice how much smaller his pour is than ours?
Sure did.
Yeah.
Even though I'm making him try that, which was, made me happy, I wasn't going to also scream over with it. Our next beer, which, guys, we haven't had, we don't know. It could be amazing, right?
Could be.
This is by Rad Brewing Company here in Indianapolis. It is the...
Sorry.
It is the Taste Death Live Life series. Touching the Void. It is an imperial malt liquor blended with fresh pomegranate and sour guava wheat ale. 8.5% ABV. If you're drinking this at home, or if you're going to buy it, or have it and you haven't drank it, 8.5 is definitely a suggested ABV. I'm not going to say it's accurate.
We're saying it's actually higher?
Most likely. I know who picks the ABVs, and I know he never goes lower than what it is. Or higher than what it is.
Oh, I thought you meant like the actual contents were higher than
Oh, I guarantee that's higher than 8.5.
You say this is sour beer? Or blended with a sour beer?
It was blended with the sour guava wheat ale.
There's no tartness to this whatsoever.
No.
No.
It tastes like apple juice.
But is there malt liquor?
He's just getting rid of it.
Yeah, that's like apple juice and dirt.
Apple juice is a good, I'll give you. Like,
You know what's annoying is I'm not really getting guava or pomegranate either.
There's
Not a lot.
or beer even. There's
No.
there's no malt liquor to it. And it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I'll give it that much.
Hey!
It's not
Yeah.
bad, but it's just
Yeah.
It tastes a little bit like dirty water. with flavoring?
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Sure.
It's like you just talk yourself out of that. Yeah, no, not really. Whatever.
And then, sure.
If I was thirsty and it was in the fridge, sure, I'd drink it.
I mean, it's not quite as advertised, but it's not terrible. I mean, I'd drink like it tastes like apple juice. You kind of nailed it. Like that's if you like apple juice and you want alcohol in it.
But again, one of the things we talk about so much on this
Oh
show.
yeah, if it's on the
when
bottle,
you're-
in the bottle.
For instance, I even bought this one. I was at a Books and Brews, and they have them there. And I bought it based on the label. I hadn't had one yet. I saw pomegranate and guava wheat ale. And I kind of went, those flavors sound weird as shit together. Yes. Bought it. Whatever. I was picking up our sponsored beer from Indie Craft Beer and Indie Craft Brew, and I legitimately just went, I'm going to go ahead and buy this. Like, just... And I'm disappointed based on what's on the label.
Sure.
If I'm at a liquor store, if I'm at a brewery, and I'm buying based on what's on the label, I expect it to be there. And when apple juice, or in my case, kind of a dirty dishwater flavor, comes into it, that's not guava or pomegranate. That's the complete opposite.
I can't get any head on it.
Where's
I
the-
said what I said.
Where's the sourness? That's bothered me a lot too. Is I expected a tart beer, and there's nothing tart about this.
And it doesn't even taste funky. Like if you're
No.
going that way of sour.
Yeah, this was a blended beer that was in beer in barrels.
It was,
What beer was it?
It was the
it's a wheat ale.
It was their wheat ale. It would have been the guava wheat. It would have been. Oh, I should know this. Oh, I'm drawing a blank. I've seen the barrels. I know where they're
Yeah.
at, and I'm drawing a blank.
And
on what
it's
they
just
were.
aged in a wine barrel.
Yeah,
The
it was
sour,
in.
right?
It was in because all the wheats were aged in wine barrels.
Yep.
And I'm forgetting which one it is.
Pinot
bugs
Grigio.
me.
Ah,
Well,
not white Zen.
but
Quite
it's.
thin, no.
I mean,
Okay, so if I ate some cheese and crackers with this, that actually might work okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of winish.
honestly, Steph might like it
Yeah.
because it is that apple does bring it towards wine, but there's no sour, there's no guava.
If it was marketed as something else, it might be. Might enjoy it more,
Yeah,
right? But going to a beer things be tart and tropical and not having any of those things. I don't know.
but it wasn't as bad as we expected.
It was not. It was not bad. It was not
That
bad.
it's redeeming quality.
Yeah.
It's better than we expected.
Yep.
So what it reminds me of is and Pepsi makes it. It's Manzanita Soul.
Sure.
It's an apple soda.
Yeah. 100%.
And
Okay.
when I do
100%.
when I blend Applejack with Diet Dew, I kind of taste like Manzanita Soul. And I really like it. So
What kind of redneck concoction is that?
it's what it is, man. It's what it is. I got some if you want to try it before you go. Try it. It's good. It tastes similar.
I
a
believe
little
it.
boozy.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Speaking of which, if you're watching right now still, I know hour 2 is when a lot of people drop off and then watch later. We've noticed it's fun when you look at like our numbers because hour 2 we usually get less comments, which makes sense.
Sure.
But it's funny because you would think that means less people have watched that long. We actually have more viewership in the back hour than the front.
Oh, good.
It just
Our back hour is just more. It's they watch later. They watch it 2 days from now, and the front hour is people who got on and watched.
Sure.
And it's really funny when we look at our numbers. There's been episodes where we've had like 3 people last week, which I looked at some of those numbers. It was a typical average show.
Yes.
But when it came to that, he didn't even have a single scroll to do when it came to comments.
Really?
It was like 10 comments. That was it.
Okay.
And one of them was a robot. Do you want to be famous? Yeah. Like, well, oddly we do.
or
Maybe we start
sexy
paying them.
girls.
But it was just weird. It's the way viewership works. Sometimes we're like, oh, nobody loves us. And then you look at it, you're like, oh, no, a lot of fucking people watch. Damn. Or you go to a brew fest, for instance, and
Yeah.
breweries
and
who
they're
you've
like,
never
"Hey."
done anything for, with, drink their beer. We watch you every fucking week.
Thank you, Hug Molly.
Yeah, thank you, Hog Molly.
That's a great way to start a beer fest off.
Very first one, when we went to Loggers and Lawrence, very first booth we walked up to. Like, oh, Hog Molly. I'm like, I've never had them. They're down in Columbus. Let's check them out. We walk up there like, you're two bearded guys. And we're like, John's talking to Matt and our friend Carrie who was there.
Nice.
And I'm like, uh-huh. He's like, we watch you every week. I'm like, he goes, are the others? Oh, there's John. And like, and then they pointed at Matt and goes, is that on screen? And we're like, I'm sitting there going, they're talking. And I'm like, I have no idea how to respond. I thought we'd go there and we got recognized by our friend Carrie because we watched it every week.
Yeah.
We knew he was going to be there. We knew
And
Mark
Buddy.
Lewis from Indiana Untapped is going to be there, and he's known us from Books and Brews. So I'm like, we're going to know somebody here, but not because of the show.
My favorite
We ran
is
into like 5 different booths that knew who we were.
Chris-
my
it
favorite
wasn't
was Chris Knight, and I was just like, what was it? Was it 2 by Citra? I really like these. No, it was 3 by Citra. I'm like,
He straight up, I got a free shirt because I graded 3F by Citra higher than he did. John was like, you know, could I get a shirt? Like, that shirt's pretty cool. Do you have one in 3X? He's like, yeah. And he started to hand it to John. He goes, wait, didn't Tyler grade it higher? And handed it to me. And it was the last one at that
I
size.
did. It's fine.
But I'll tell you what, Brewfest, we can't wait till you're a thing again.
Oh, I miss them so much.
So
We
much.
went to one this year.
Hey.
We went to Loggers in Lawrence, which we've said repeatedly. Indiana
Yeah.
on Tap did a fantastic job at keeping that safe.
Yeah.
Very well spread out.
They enforced
They made
it.
sure every single booth enforced the basically pouring from pitchers, so there was no contact on your glassware at all. They encouraged you to bring your own glassware. Now, they had stuff for you if you didn't, but they encouraged you to bring like your own mugs, anything like that.
Stein.
Yeah, we brought Steins. I mean,
Steins.
it's a German fest. Why not, right?
We had matching steins.
But they were pouring everything from their taps into a pitcher and then pouring contactless to your glass. So it's one last touch point. They did such a great job. If more Brewfest would have really tried that, I think it could have been a thing. They kept numbers to it. They had a specific number they were willing to sell to.
I think that was the bigger issue, just that head count making it work.
They
The juice
did-
worth the squeeze.
They worked really hard at making sure it was at a specific head count.
It's outdoors.
We need a rate.
Yeah, it was out. Oh yeah, we do, don't we? I'm
Yeah.
so excited to move on.
Hey, you're first.
Oh shit! Damn it! I double checked.
You did.
Carrie
Anyway.
says, "So miss Brewfest."
Oh,
So
yeah.
give me a little time there.
Him and Bunny were a blast.
They were
Yeah, that was a
awesome.
lot of fun.
So this is the Live Death Taste Life bullshit.
That's a weird name.
Nothing that's supposedly in it's there. It's not that I disliked it. It's not something I'd look for by any stretch of the imagination. But
Incorrectly marketed.
I'm gonna give it a 175.
Okay.
I think it's so far off the mark of what they said it was that you can't go above. I can't get into the 2s.
Yeah, but R2 is like, okay, if it's in the fridge,
Well,
it's still
under
drinking it.
1 is when I say no. So
That's
I'm
a little water.
technically,
Yeah, I
if somebody
get it, I
hands
get
me
it.
one of these, I'll drink it. But I feel like it's so far off the mark on the bottle that I can't go above a 2. So I'm giving it that 175. I really am. I love when I can talk John into lowering a score.
Well, no,
It's
it's
so much fun.
just the way you defend. Like,
see
I really am.
You've seen his eyes. Just, I have a number.
Because the problem is,
No.
like, I enjoyed's too strong a word, but it wasn't bad. Once again, it's kind of like that listener been like,
Didn't dislike.
What's your heart telling you?
fine, no, look,
Oh,
my heart is telling me I'll go 2.5. How
bullshit.
about that? 2.5.
Wow. That's
I had 2.25.
As he says that, and then goes with like the 3.5.
I know. Like,
Better than that, boys.
no. Kev's gonna get like a 0.5. Just fuck this whole rating all up.
I have a standing rule. I don't give any local breweries under a 2, just because I don't.
Well,
that's
it's not going on
Indiana.
your Untapped, so it's
I
not.
will after this though, but okay, yeah, that's a good point.
This is all under our name. This is the one time you can
Yeah.
legitimately do what you want.
1.5. That is just not.
Makes us look bad.
yeah,
The
all right.
advertising as a sour beer and not having any sourness is a big problem to me. You know.
That is a 2. If that makes you feel better.
Oh, it stayed right where you were kind of wanting.
Okay, you guys win.
That's one of the reasons we also
It
do
just
the
rounds
threes.
up. It rounds up. But
Yeah.
I understand how math works.
yeah.
Yeah. That's also one of the reasons we do the 3-person panel.
Here, I like that idea. I like that idea.
Now, I will say this: it has changed. Our
Oh,
scores,
Brian's not here.
our scores on Untapped are entertaining. Oh, Brian didn't make it.
Yeah.
Because you can definitely tell, depending on the guest, what they liked as well.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because there's times where certain styles of beer are a little bit lower than that same style another time, even though, like, we'll talk about it later, and it's like,
Yeah.
then why'd you give it a 3.75?
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about it.
One thing we should mention.
We did straight up cut your brother off on scoring, though.
Yeah, we did.
Occasionally,
He
I'm
tried to
the
score a 6 out of 5, so...
Yeah, he's,
On, like, just...
it was a great show. But
He threw out a cue.
Yeah.
that,
He was real drunk. He evidently was doing vodka shots and we didn't know it beforehand. Yeah.
That'll do
Which
it.
he's back on. Now we have to require him to do vodka shots before he gets on. So
But what were
we
you
can
about to say,
tap back
Rob?
into that magic.
the auction, the silent auction
Oh, shit, I forgot about
for Kevin Atwell, who is getting a pacemaker. He's got
He's
some
home
health
right now.
issues. He is
that.
home.
He's home right now. He's doing better.
Yep. So if you want to be a guest on the show, we're auctioning off a guest appearance. March 11th, I think, is the date.
It's a great idea.
March
Yeah.
It's not that late.
It's in March.
It's March 3rd, I
March
want to
3rd.
say.
It's the, okay.
I'm pulling it up. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So we're auctioning off a guest spot.
First, that was right the first time. We're auctioning off a what?
Guest spot.
Some point in March to be determined.
March 1st.
March 1st. March 1st guest appearance on Two Bearded Guys. That is going to be auctioned off for the benefit of Kevin Atwell, who's having some health condition issues. And that is going to be at Trader's Brewing on December...
That I couldn't tell you.
Maybe that's December 11th.
That sounds
That's
right.
the 11th.
That sounds right.
Carrie, confirm for us.
Great dude. Friend of a lot of local breweries. He's one of those guys that he's like us. Loves craft beer. Has some of his favorite breweries. Tries to make sure he hits them up. He's been doing his best during this time to support him as well through all sorts of ways.
Yeah.
We were reached. Our friend Carrie reached out to us. Not we were reached. Our friend Carrie reached out to us, asked us if we'd be willing to do something, and I mean, we're not that cool. So the best part we can do is,
Yeah.
basically be like, hey, come be on the show and drink free beer.
Yeah.
Not a bad deal.
Yeah, we feel like since we're not that cool, the option of free, usually pretty decent beer is.
And I'll tell you, it's been great.
Unless it's Kevin's night.
I mean,
and
Kevin's
then,
back for the second time, so clearly.
Yeah, it's after I eat a bunch of hot wings. So you.
and
Are we doing the chip challenge? God damn it.
Carrie is confirming that
And I'll be
December
recording that.
December 11th from 5 to 7 is when that would
Okay.
be
Nice
happening.
Yeah. That's where I got the 11th from.
All right, our next beer is the Blueberry Maple Stout by Saugatuck Brewing Company. 6% ABV. We had a Saugatuck recently
Right.
that we very much enjoyed.
Saugatuck's been decent.
Rich, sweet stout with classic malt characteristics and a bold, unique twist. This beer tastes like you crammed a fat stack of blueberry pancakes into a pint glass and smothered it with maple syrup. Channel your inner lumberjack because it's in for a real treat. Now, again,
That's a
if
funny
it's-
description, but
if it's on the can,
can't live up to it.
I'm expecting it to be in the can. So if you tell me to expect pancakes and syrup,
It better be.
it better fucking be there.
Better be.
We're really picky on that. Like, we love when people give us great descriptions like that, but at the same time, if you give me too many specifics,
Oh yeah.
you're a dumbass.
I don't know who to talk to who makes good beer, but if they could do this flavor and make it turn out the way it's supposed to be, plus add bacon and hot sauce, I'm in.
That's a lot of things to ask. The Hubbard and Craven's
could
blueberry
do it.
pancake, we had it. That was
Let's do that ourselves. Let's plan that.
Dude, can we do that?
Yeah, absolutely. Make it beer. I'd make. Beer.
Which, why have we not done a brew day with him instead of trying to do it through Kyle?
Well, we need to, because Kyle stood us up twice now. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next
Kyle,
time,
screw you.
you're
Stop setting
fired.
us up.
So I once made it for a buddy. Oh, you can pour the beer.
Oh, I'm listening to you too.
He wanted this exact style, so we call it the Big Ass Blueberry Stout. It was a blueberry stout with maple and cinnamon and bourbon. It's like 12.5%.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
Yeah,
It's
right. Sign me up for that.
And, I gave him it. He texted me. He's like, "Hey, man, I've had like 3 of these. Are you sure it's 12.5%?" 5 minutes later, never mind.
Scratch that.
Yeah, like literally this flavor, if they could pull it off, plus bacon and hot sauce. I'm
Those
in.
are some of my
so good,
favorite.
yeah.
Those are some of my favorite beers, though. When you're drinking and you're like, "This is not that ABV."
No way.
Then you go to stand up from your bar stool or go to do something. You're like,
Never mind.
Oh, it was right.
They were right.
This was given to us by a good friend of mine, Blake's great friend of Books and Brews Carmel and Books and Brews Noblesville. Great dude. I actually ran into him about a month ago at Books and Brews Noblesville, and he looked at me. He's like, "Been holding on to these beers for the Two Bearded Guys for like a month until I saw you. Literally got up from the bar, ran to his car, drove home, which was 5 minutes away, came back, and walked in and was like, I'm like, dude, that might be the coolest thing anyone's ever done.
We do have a dedicated fan base.
Like, he literally is like, I've been saving these for you guys. I'm like,
Small but mighty.
damn, all right. Thanks, Blake. Speaking of big beers, though, when you start talking about the percentage on that, we have a beer coming to us in about a month to 2 months as soon as it's finished. That's called the Big Dumb Beer from Bombastic Brewing Company.
Okay.
It is their base stout, but they do it once a year, and it's more just them doing it for shits and giggles. It's a big ass stout. It's basically what the owner calls it. It's their Big Dumb Beer. We wanted to make a stout that was just stupid ABV. It's our Big Dumb Beer, and he's gonna send it to us, and we're excited
Nice.
to try.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm curious what the label art for that is because
Their
everything else
label
they
art's
have
great.
is like great label art and kind of like clever names. So like Big Dumb Beer, like I just hope it's some like that same art style, but just some like idiot looking on the can.
That would be pretty fun.
It tastes very blueberry syrup, like the blueberry syrup. That's what I get.
The
Yeah,
what?
that makes sense, I guess.
Yeah.
I get no maple though,
No, not really.
and a little bit of metallic-y kind of flavor to it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
The blueberries even got like a weird finish to it.
Yeah. It's really tart.
Yeah.
It's like really sour blueberry.
Yeah.
I always feel like the beer is it's not infected beer, but it kind of lingers or pushes kind of towards that flavor profile.
Yeah. It's got a weird finish to it. I'm not getting the maple, which sucks.
Mm-hmm.
When you tell me in a pint glass I'm getting blueberry pancakes and maple
Right.
syrup, I expect the maple syrup.
Right.
It's not bad.
No.
It's just Saugatuck did really well on the first one we've had by them, and this one's.
They had the blueberry cream ale that we
We
had on the
that.
show. Yeah.
I don't remember that one.
So I was just at the brewery.
We've had a lot of beer.
I was at Saugatuck
Almost 400, I'm told.
back in early October. Not far from here. It's a great little town,
Up in Michigan.
Michigan. We stayed at a place called Douglas, Michigan. Beautiful. Anyway.
Up north?
Up
Up
north.
north.
Hashtag.
Yep. The beer was. They're known for these kind of beers, like their Neapolitan milk stout and this blueberry one. But their base stuff is great. They just had a nut brown ale, nothing flashy. That was perfect. Super good.
See,
Is
that's
their Neapolitan stout the one that I have had? Is that have been the one down
That's
here?
probably
Like,
the one you've ever tried. Yeah.
okay, because that one was really solid. I did thoroughly enjoy that.
that's a style I wish more breweries did.
But they don't
Just a
sell.
brown-
Yeah,
just a brown
I
ale.
love brown ales, but they don't sell. No one buys
There's a
them.
reason the only thing we have right now is IPAs.
Right.
New England
But
IPAs
what
and
cracks me
stouts.
up is I
And
know
sours.
so many beer people
And smoothies.
who go, I wish more
Berliners.
people did browns,
Yeah.
but yet when they go to the breweries and stuff, they don't buy them.
Right.
And it's like, you can't wish for it, and when your local brewery does it,
Yeah.
Never buy
not
it.
buy it.
Once they go there, then they have the blueberry maple stout on tap, and then it's just.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna try brown ale. I can try this. It's also really thin, by the way. I'm going back to this beer.
Yeah.
It's really thin bodied.
It is a thin body.
And on this show, gentlemen,
We like it thick.
there it
Thick.
is.
We like it built like us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thick.
Just
Couple extra C's in there.
2 C's or a Q?
that.
Both.
Okay.
Oh, that might be a little too thick.
Is that French?
Yeah.
Thick?
Thick.
That, that tee up was further just to see Kevin's face on the screen. Like, that was a very genuine reaction.
Well, unless this Firestone's amazing, we might have to add a beer tonight.
Yeah, because it's not been.
A great night. No.
The first
Poor
beer.
Kevin.
Man, guys, I was looking forward to this.
Don't worry, I'll grab one of the stouts.
Yeah, Kevin's like, I might not be back for a third.
Yes.
Let's move on.
No, what he'll do is he'll come back saying he's only barely stepping up the off flavors
Yeah.
and straight up drop rotten egg into our
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
I can make it real bad for you guys.
Yeah, you gotta play a little nicer before we get to that stuff, Tyler. Come
And
on.
then purposely not give himself. He'll act like he pours some in his own cup. Just be like,
You guys can handle this, pussies.
you mean like you did on the Hot Wings challenge?
Yeah, destroyed it.
Oh,
Right?
goddamn. You
Can't
did
handle
destroy
this,
that
pussies.
shit.
Only person I've ever seen volunteer to take a second round of.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're a madman.
Thank you.
But back to this beer. Sorry.
Yeah.
Hour two. We
It
just
is.
saw.
Yeah,
Filter.
it's thin. The blueberry's a bit weird in it. It's not much maple. Have I summarized everything up? It's I'm disappointed.
Did you say something about sunrise?
Sunrise.
Summarize.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Yeah, that sounds like what he's trying to say.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah. I'm disappointed. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Yeah. Anyway,
You
score.
know how that works. Oh, 2-5.
You're really generous today.
God, you guys are gonna kill it.
You're up, Kevin.
Yeah, I was also on. I was up 2 1/4. Just
Were you gonna go lower before I said 2-5? I'm just
no. I
interested.
don't know where I was gonna go. I don't. Whatever. That beer. It's just.
Yeah.
I feel like I've had that beer before, and I remember really liking it. But the lack of maple and that thin body and that weird metallic blueberry character, it just kind of. I feel like that beer could be a lot better than what we were just getting.
Yeah. I agree.
So I'm,
I'll probably was a little.
I always feel
generous.
guilty rating beers kind of low.
I'm gonna give it a 2.
Yeah.
That was like, fuck it, I don't.
This is nothing. The episode I had to stay sober. Oh, I was mean.
You had to stay sober.
Yeah, I had an interview the next morning, so I
Nice.
had to be able to drive back to Muncie after the show
Sure.
was over. So
Tyler was very short that episode.
I was pouring very short pours,
Yeah.
and it was hilarious because I was not nice.
And that was 2 1/4.
To us or the beers.
Mostly to the beers.
Yeah.
All right, Firestone, baby.
Come on, let's finish strong.
So far,
Really
we've had
good.
2 beers. No, 3. 3 beers over a 3, and only 1 above a 4.
The worst night in a while.
It's pretty bad.
Oh,
Sorry,
That's what it is.
sorry, smell buddy.
but before you get that open, Steph just made a comment. Stephen Fox, hope you all feel better. That reminds me, I forgot earlier. Stephen Fox saying, "Hey, thank you, Tyler, for being a." I don't know if he said godsend, but something to that effect of super nice guy. I don't want to give you too much credit, but is there something going on that you're helping
So,
them
guys,
out with?
I haven't worked behind a bar in a while, so come hang out with me tomorrow through Friday at Books and Brews Noblesville, and then a little bit Saturday. I'm not quite sure what my hours are Saturday, but Books and Brews Noblesville tomorrow through Friday. My hours are 3 to 8, 3 to 8, 3 to 8.
3D8.
It's in 3D at 8 o'clock.
I will
You
be.
can see him actually in all 3 dimensions.
I'll be the only one working, so you'll basically. Oh, I've built more than 3 dimensions.
He might even approach 40.
But
He's working on smell-o-vision.
I'm the only guy working. It'll be fun. Our friends at Books and Brews Noblesville, who both owners have been on this show,
Yeah.
they're amazing people. Unfortunately, COVID hit the store, and so there's at least 2 employees, including 1 owner, who have COVID right now. So they were gonna have shut down, and I had.
We don't want them to shut down
Yeah.
because then they lose money, so we want to help them make money.
My theory is I would rather them stay open because that's where I drink often, driving back and forth from
Yeah.
Indy, heading back. I mean, it's right off the highway. It's
Yeah.
As I hear
really
it,
hard to be upset. And
Tyler-
they're just great people.
Tyler reverse voluntold them that was supposed to happen. Instead
Little
of,
bit. I
instead of like a
did,
boss
actually.
telling
A little
you,
bit.
"Oh,
No,
you're doing this,"
it's
like
one of
Tyler's
those
like,
where-
"No, I'm doing this."
Jordan's just the nicest human on the planet, and she didn't want to ask, so I told her I would do it. And yeah.
I have never heard the term voluntold, and I love it.
Seriously?
Really?
Yeah, that's
So you've
awesome.
never been in
That
a
is
job that's been an issue then?
An owner at a brewery I used to
Oh,
work.
I'm sure he's voluntold all the time.
Oh yeah, I didn't know there's a word for it though.
No, an owner at a brewery I used to work for voluntold me to do things all the time.
Yeah.
yeah, I worked in sales way too long. I was voluntold regularly about things.
I can't wait to use that tomorrow.
Even Kevin's learning something.
Woo! I learned somebody something.
I learned somebody something. But come hang out with me and support a great business and great ownership. They're awesome people.
Buy
They are
local.
some people.
Buy local.
Buy local.
Plus, you get to make fun of me, and you all like to do that anyways. It's at the Hamilton Town Center, right
So
across
keep your comments
from
being read.
Ford's Garage. So, yeah. Again, you guys like making fun of me anyways, so come do it while
Oh,
getting drunk.
I thought I was like not
Do
grabbing
you agree
it.
with this is?
No. This is
He does do the show better than us.
He does. He's so good.
this is Firestone's limited release 23. It is their anniversary ale. This was from 2019. Hey, I'm right. 2019 vintage. 11.5% ABV. Unfortunately, it's only in a 12-ounce bottle, which is sad.
So if you had to guess anniversary L, what is it? Just an L, or do they go stout?
Well, it's an ale on their anniversary.
Old ale, barley wine. Usually that's kind of the you can see through it, so it's not a stout. It's a really rich mahogany kind of color.
Mahogany.
All right.
And leather-bound books.
Baxter.
I'm not even mad. I'm just impressed. A whole wheel of cheese?
So, there's a bunch of shit on here, but
Three paragraphs.
I'm skipping a lot of it. At the advent of the recent harvest season and Paso Robles, Matt and his brewing team once again convened with friends. These winemakers are practicing experts in the arts of blending, and they came to help us assemble a harmonious beer from among 7 barrel-aged component ales. As always, they broke into teams, yada, yada, yada. Created a winning blend. The result is the 23, a beer of immense depth and complexity with long, intense flavors that beg to be sipped and savored. 23 is built to last. Savor it now or cellar it for future enjoyment. Enjoy this beer now or cellar in a cool, dark place.
Please tell me that they didn't start off at 1 and count up to 23. Like just randomly pick numbers. Like this is batch 7. This is batch 18. Now we're up to 23, and they're just bouncing back and forth. Like next year might be 12.
Didn't say that. I don't know.
No, I mean,
or I guess it might have said that. I skipped the whole first paragraph.
I mean, I just wonder, is 2019?
You saw how much shit was there. I wasn't reading it all.
Anniversary. 23rd anniversary.
Well, that's when have they been in or they're just oh, this is just number 23. Bam,
that
11.
would be so much better if it was actually their 30th anniversary,
right?
And they just start naming beers next year's is 4.
See, that's what I'm saying. Why was her name 11 in Stranger Things? I'm sure it's was there 10
There was
before?
an SH sound instead of ST on Stranger Things. There,
I don't know.
those are Stranger Things. He had the Sean Connery voice coming out. Stranger Things.
Stranger Things.
There it is.
God rest his soul.
Ah, too soon. Too soon.
We've lost a lot of great actors and musicians this year.
I'm getting a lot of that good dark sweetness.
Fucking 2020.
You know, that brown sugar or that.
Rich molasses.
Yeah.
A little bit of dark fruit. That's
And bourbon.
Yeah.
That's the one I'm
it's
getting.
tasty.
That's super fucking good.
I'm not upset with this.
That made this night worth it.
Also,
So you'll come back.
just when we thought we pushed him away. Brent says, "Hey, cheers, fellas! Great show, but he's got to bounce. Thank you for joining us,
Thank
Brent.
you.
Appreciate the
Thank you,
hangout.
brother.
Have a good evening, sir. Be safe."
Make sure you follow us on all social medias. I didn't tell you to smash that like button.
Subscribe, smash that like button.
I don't think there's ever a bad time for an air horn.
That's true.
There is.
Funeral.
Is it when you're wearing a Santa suit and you've got a slutty
That's a great time.
Big
Big
Bird?
Bird.
Big great
No,
time.
that's like the appropriate time as well.
That's
Yeah,
a
no.
good time for dinner.
As he sit there.
And I'm done. Beer's great.
No, yeah, it is.
Love it. Love it. There's like a caramel apple kind of flavor to it.
I mean, for like a mystery style, that is really good. I don't going into it had no idea what to expect besides barrel aged and higher ABV, and that's a smooth 11. You said?
Yeah.
11 and a half almost.
11 and a half.
Yeah,
It's not a super thick body by any means.
It's
but
got the smell and it's got that barrel flavor, but it's not got that boozy flavor.
It's got
Beer before glory.
yeah, somehow.
That's
By
a
the
good
way,
one.
save that bottle cap to send to Russell next time we send him shit.
Okay. Oh, that's
Excuse
good.
me.
That's a Russell cap if I've ever seen one.
Yeah.
You know, that's the nice thing about this,
good.
what we do is making the friends we make. Because the random shit we'll be doing, and we're like, oh, so-and-so would like this, or like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, this bottle cap, yeah, we'll just save that for the guy in fucking Washington for next time we send him shit.
Conversely, they'll peruse the meat aisle for pet names of the week. It goes both ways.
Yeah.
This is a give and take relationship on this show.
Ooh, we do have a beer delivery coming from him relatively soon, too.
Yeah. He's not sent it yet, but he's putting one together.
We're also going to have another Hardy Taver delivery.
That's an understatement.
Boys.
Is this,
Hey,
is this
how
a
many beers
three-boxer?
did it? How many beers did it end up?
I don't know. I think it was 55, but when I thought we were going to ship originally.
That's 55 different.
Yes, not
Well,
counting
that was
doubles.
before the delay, right?
Yeah, well then it got
not
pushed
counting
back
doubles.
because sometimes it'll be like, oh, your crate's going to ship today. And then, I check it today, oh, no, we decided to give you a couple extra days to spend more money. Thanks, schmuck. It's like, okay, well, back to buying. And then, when it was supposed to close the second time, then it was, they had a Corona thing. So, not the beer, but the Rona. The Rona. So then they delayed it another week. So I'm like, well, oh, there's Listerman, and then there's Anchorage, and it's all these breweries we like.
And it's $14 flat rate shipping.
Yeah.
Flat rate.
No, it's
So,
the last time I had
he
three boxes.
He had a 3-box
You just
shipment
gotta fix
last
that.
time.
Don't.
That's great.
No.
I love that flat
No,
rate.
that's super, super nice, yeah.
Yeah. So
That's the reason
That's
we
taking
could afford
advantage of it.
Tabor.
Yeah.
if that was
That's why we could afford Tabor.
it was like at 54, I think, before the extension. So it's probably at least 60 to 65.
Because I went
different
through a
beers.
different delivery service one time and went through Craft Beer Kings. They don't do flat rate shipping. And it's based on weight, which makes sense.
That makes sense.
So,
I prefer
shit
the
got
15.
expensive real fast because the beers are like $2.99, $3.99, $4. I'm like, fuck yeah! Boom, 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 boom.
sounds
Nope.
like an air horn.
delete. There we
It
go.
more than doubled the price for shipping.
Oh yeah, my shipping was more expensive than my beers at one
I
point in
believe
time.
it, yeah.
Also, gentlemen, are we sitting down? Good. Good beer fellas on.
Good beer, fella.
That's like the second week out of the last 3. He's hopped on like right before the
Yeah,
Good, sir.
he was pretty regular. We saw him for a while. He kind of went dark there for a minute. He just didn't comment. But hey, man, good to see you. Thanks for popping on.
Good to see you, brother. This beer, we just had the Firestone 23 2019 vintage. It is an 11.5% ABV, blend of multiple different beers. It's their anniversary ale. We believe their 23rd. And by believe, I mean it's their 23rd anniversary beer.
I want some check on that.
Good Lord.
Whoa! I thought it was a bottle. Are you crazy? I got this bad eye and like poor coordination skills, man.
That was wonderful.
You're gonna have a knocked out button monkey back here. All right. Oh,
Button
That was
monkey.
fun.
John, do you have some spare underwear, John?
It's your turn to go first.
Oh,
4.5. The only thing I ding it on, a little thin. I like a little bit thicker beer. And hot, boozy. So
It's not sneaking up on you.
it's not sneaky beer.
No.
Yeah, fantastic flavor profile otherwise.
I love it. I'm not going to knock it much for anything. I'm going to give it a 4.25. More on preference, I think, at this point than anything. I like it. It's a little thin. Definitely not sneaking up on you. But, man, it reminds me of some barley wines I had, and I'm a huge barley wine fan. It gives you that same kind of feel. A little bit of dark fruit. It's tasty. I'm giving it a 4.25.
I'm right there. I'd probably, if I could, split it between the two, so I'll go 4.25. But it's delicious. It's probably the best beer we've had tonight. It's not my beer of the night because I'm going to go with the Hop Lore.
Blackberry Dream?
Yeah,
That was fun.
that was fun.
What's that give us? Is that a 4.25 average?
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
I'm bad at math. All right, so John jumped ahead just a little bit. But beer of the night,
I figured
Matt.
we'd get it going.
What about you?
I'm still pretty happy with the what was the first one, the
Candy Bar.
Candy Bar. That was a pretty fun one, but I think the cobbler that John mentioned, that one was the most interesting thing that we had, and delicious and well crafted. That one's probably going to edge it out and be my choice of the night.
The Blackberry Cobbler was fucking good. But what about you, brother?
Yeah, it was great. I'm gonna go with Firestone though. I'm more of a classic beer kind of style guy. That Dream was pleasantly surprising. That was very, very good. Not a style I gravitate towards, but a very well done beer.
It's funny because the Blackberry Cobbler and the Firestone got identical scores from me, both 4.25s, and identical scores overall, 4.25s. I'm going to actually agree with Kevin and go with the Firestone, so we're going to be a full split decision here.
Perfect.
What's up?
That Firestone was just clean. Instead of going, oh, this is unique, try it. This is just a fucking good beer.
This is a great beer.
Don't get me wrong. The Blackberry Cobbler Dream was also a fantastic beer.
But this is 11%.
But this is true. This is beer. When you think of the styles, you think of the way this was made.
Wait, on the Bob scale, this would be beer?
This is beer, yeah.
At
The other one would not be beer?
That was
Yeah.
where we got.
And at
This is beer,
11.5%, 11.5%, like everything for this beer just, for me, it just edges it. I wouldn't give them different scores. Like going back on it, I wouldn't change either score. But this is my beer of the night.
Especially for a day like today, we got our first snow. It's kind of shitty outside.
Oh, yeah.
It does really fit for the
This
time of the
is
year,
the
yeah.
kind of beer I want to sit, just be warm inside the house, sip on this till I fall asleep.
I will say, I wish I'd had the Blackberry Dream immediately after Thanksgiving dinner.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's a great.
That would have been a perfect dessert beer.
Great
Oh yeah, we did have Slivka on asking what food we would.
I would have put that right
Ooh.
after the turkey and stuffing, and
Yeah.
that is a perfect finishing like holiday meal beer.
Yeah, we talked about that, and then he said that peach is coming up. Like, I have a peach pie up there. I'm gonna go have a slice.
Nice.
There you go.
I'm thinking of Face Off.
But no-
Pete Ferrara's on also Water Performance Technology himself.
You mean Ugly Pete
Ugly
Water?
Pete.
I tried to go the professional route this time, but yes.
What
Later,
up,
Pete?
What up, Pete?
But yeah, no, guys, this has been an interesting night.
Sure.
That's a good word for it. Yeah.
Couple really good
Unique.
beers. Couple very good beers. The two that are the beers of the night.
Some learning.
Couple okay beers. And some others. We learned a little bit. If you missed the very beginning of the show, I do suggest watching it. If you're a beer fan, watch the very beginning of this episode. Even if that's all you watch. Watch the first
Very educational.
15 to 20 minutes. You're going to hear one of the smartest guys in beer talk about some of the off flavors that you might find, what you're going to taste, and the fact that if you and your buddy taste two different things might not
That's normal.
mean that you're wrong. So,
Yeah, Tyler.
No, you're always wrong.
It's like that. Is that dress black or is it blue online challenge? Like, what is your
Jesus.
color? What is your IC?
I hate it because that's a really good analogy.
Now you know what Tyler feels like every Monday.
That's literally me every Monday. Every time he talks.
Like, damn, that was good.
I've said that too.
Occasionally I have
He
my
doesn't know what he's talking
about.
about, but damn it.
He runs into the
not
right
wrong.
thing all the time. But check it out. You will learn. You will learn quite a bit. We take full advantage of having Kevin on. So
Yeah.
And off too. We take advantage of
Of
those
course.
off.
Boys.
any
See you
final
in 10,
thoughts?
Kevin.
Any final thoughts, guys?
Overall, not a great beer night, but I had a blast. Kevin, thank you very much. And yeah.
Yeah. Thank you guys for having me. I enjoy tasting some of these beers because it is. I don't do this very often. You know, I'm not going to buy any of these beers regularly, pretty much. So it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun to sit down and it's like a mini beer fest every time I come here.
Absolutely. We'd love to have you back again. Thank you so much, dude.
Positively.
March 1st, okay?
If you're the high.
If you're the high bidder.
Otherwise, we'll have to bump you to the next
Yeah,
one.
that's all right.
Thanks for listening, guys. It's been a great episode. We learned a lot. We had some fun. Drank some okay beer. I'm TBG_ops guy.
Mudhog B&Q.
With us today.
Smell money.
And behind the camera, the one, the only.
Oscar and Matt.
Thanks for listening to Two Bearded Guys. Have a great night.